The Amateur World League 2023 season is presented by Grilla, the new place to get great. Host tournaments for free, set up scrims, and earn more at Grilla.gg. The 2023 season is also brought to you by NYXP, your new gaming sanctuary. AWL players have access to discounted rates at the NYXP LAN Center in Kingston, New York. AWL stats are presented by LobbyUp. Connect with LobbyUp for esports tournament admining today. Now, it's time to continue with our Major 1 qualifiers.
Could be the very end here soon, going in your favor, and Nola flight. Oh my goodness! Somebody clip that. Teskey 180 drop, mostly negative. This is the thing here, though, is that Element, they also have these great holds. Mirage when you're winning, but here again, only the rotation and the clash is about to ensue. Next on over towards this P5, Juju, good shots in.
The point, able to find that first kill, looking for two, instantly traded by Katani in that corner, and again we have a concurrently white player trying to move in through the back. It's held by Element.
Element, truly in their element.
Top guy.
Top bridge. One more top bridge. How do you know I'm hitting that, bro? Where are you watching?
Three.
Good bridge.
I got your front.
He dropped the road.
He wants dead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Graph the Giraffe, also known as Dak737, and I am here with Epiphany. He's looking clean, looking crisp out there, as we have an incredible matchup coming here today. But Epiphany, how are you feeling? Let's talk about the standings right now for the AWL.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, guys, good to be back here casting on the AWL, but we've got one hell of a match on our hands here for tonight to kick things off. And, well, looking at the standings, Nola Flight piloting their way forward as they continue to soar and high in the sky as well. You look towards the bottom side now, you see Myst, one of our teams that's playing today. They need to find a win on the board as Grave United, though, as well. 1 and 2. This could be a close matchup, Graph, but looking at the overall standings, things looking contested still.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see these two teams in Element versus Grave United. Grave looking to work their way on into that winner's bracket as we can actually throw up the sizzle reel right now, talk about what we can highlight from these two teams. And then coming on in from the side of Element, they are looking to regain after a big loss against Nola Flight in the Week 2 matchup. They lost in a 3-2 fashion. And then they are looking to hold on to that winner's bracket spot as they sit at 2-1 after that loss. And then who is going to be that X Factor? It's going to be Juju. But I know right now for Grave United, who are you looking at for yourself, Epiphany?
I'm looking at these new looks on the Grave United roster. It's confident hidden that are back in business to get things going for themselves and the rest of the squad. As well, the new roster, maybe the regain is going to be inbound. We'll see if that's the case as Grave United. You need to find something, again, to go in your favor. And if you get a win locked in, well, that could be winners in the book for you. So far, Grave United, the story right now is you got a new roster locked in. You got a new story that you can write in the book. And Graph, talk to me about this guy on your screen.
Yeah, Mirage, he's looking to kind of have a tad bit of a bounce back. He was actually the #1 overall spot after that Week 2, and then during and after that match of Nola Flight, when they got that loss, he went down from the number 1 to the number 5 spot. His control is absolutely through the roof, but you can see his S&D is currently lacking a little bit below average, and then hardpoint, he's sitting around, you know, that 50th percentile for everything, but he's looking to have a great bounce back series here against this new roster in the side of Grave United.
For sure. And, you know, I look at the side of Mirage and I look at the side of Element. And in general, you can see it right here. You've got that 133 on control. Maybe that map 3 is going to be exactly what you need in this series. We'll see if that ends up being the case. But, I mean, if these guys can use a player like Mirage to lock down a map like that, lock down some key kills, lock down some key hills, that's going to be big. Talk about hills, though. Opening things up in our series here, going to be Hotel Hardpoint. Then we're moving on over towards Mexico. We got El Asilo S&D, rounding it back out towards Hotel for some control, and then later on another Hotel, 5th in this series, but firstly a Fortress Hardpoint before that. So hey, Graph, you know, looking at this one, I'd say that in general you can see that this series is definitely dynamic, but Hotel is the through line throughout it.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest question coming on into this one. Who can start off hot? And I know for the side of Grave United, having Confident and Hidden back in the roster, that's definitely going to be able to increase their respawn potential. But with those new players coming back, that you have to look at that El Asilo map too, right? Search and destroy. It's all about that communication. It's all about having that chemistry with the team, and maybe having those 2 players back could maybe cause a little bit of jitters and maybe not everything going the correct timing that you want to have. And then, like you said and highlighted, it is Hotel for that map 3. Mirage, you saw a 133 rating. That is where he's going to have to thrive and at least get Element on the board if they didn't already.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you look at the vetoes here below and you see Hydro, Mercado, Asilo. This is definitely an interesting one, right? Because you've got kind of a diverse map set there. Hydro, obviously a map that really nobody wants to be playing in a hardpoint usually. So that seems pretty typical. Mercado, somewhat the same. You look at Asilo, though, you look at that search and destroy, that veto coming through for Mercado, and then you look at El Asilo, the veto for control. That is what makes me a bit curious. On this Element side, is how are they going to do on a search and destroy on El Asilo if they did veto the control on El Asilo? Is it a map problem? Is it a mode problem? That's the question that I asked there. And then you look at Fortress on the other side, right? Grave United, a double veto for that map, and well, you got a hard point on Fortress, but that's about it. So maybe that is okay for you if you know that you can be strong in that hard point mode, but search and destroy and control on that map specifically might be a bit more of a challenge for you.
Yeah, and especially with like those 2 fortresses being vetoed, maybe you're not feeling as confident with your submachine guns being able to get up close and personal, and not to mention having a new AR on the roster. That's one where you really have to get quite a few reps in to make sure you're feeling confident, because it's all about those rotations. And I think they had a little bit of a spawn update, if I'm not mistaken. So hey, maybe you don't have that under your belt and you're looking to maybe have a map like Hotel where everything is still the same. This is a tried and true map, I think, throughout the entire amateur scene. It's probably the most evenly based. So you got to be taking a look at that for the side of Grave United. But I have a feeling this is going to be an incredible series coming our way. Element, they are coming off of that 3-2 in week 2. And speaking of, both these teams, they haven't played in since week 2, and that's going to be the biggest question. Maybe they have to come out hot here to make sure that they are sitting at a good part of the standings for the AWL.
Yeah, I think Element right now, it's all about just trying to make that winner's bracket. That's the storyline that they're exhibiting right now. Is this is a big win for them if they want to try to move things forward in their favor. I mean, when you look at Grave United, this is also another big win. You got a new roster. You want to start picking things up. You want to get the ball rolling and the train chugging along. Otherwise, things could get real bad for you real quick. We'll see how it goes, but I mean, Element right now, I think that this is their match to lose in some ways. And in some ways, the same for Grave United, but I think Element right now, they have been slightly underwhelming is what some people I think are saying, is that they need to pick things up a bit more as a team with the, you know, capacity that they truly do have and the ceiling that they can reach. So I think that is the question on everybody's mind, is what are they going to do to really, really raise themselves up even more? And I think this match versus Grave United is a perfect opportunity to do just that.
I couldn't agree more. They need to hit that regain button and show why they are still a top contending team in the AWL. And then on the side of Grave United, they need to be able to show themselves as this new roster, say, hey, we are a top contender in this league, even though we're sitting at that number 10 seed with the 1-2 record. They want to bounce up to 2-2, as well as maybe kick down the side of Element to that 2-2. I don't think they would be able to retake them even if it's a 3-0 on the map count. But hey, you are just getting slowly but surely locking in that spot for playoffs.
Right, yeah, I think it's all about locking in the spot, making sure that you at least make it into a good position going into things. Again, we'll see how Grave United does, but right now I think for them that this is a phase where you're kind of playing out the rosters. What are you going to do to try and get something going in your favor, maybe for the second major? Because right now it's been a bit of a rough start, a bit of a rough going to kick things off. Now it's all about figuring out what are you going to do as a team, new players on your roster, and I'll talk about Confident and Hidden for a second. Obviously, two players in the U18 scene that have just ruptured through everybody in the simplest format. Hidden just played in one of the lands that I casted recently. He's been going wild. Confident as well, continuing to stay on the grind. And these are two players that, if I'm any player in this league, I'm going to start to worry about.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. Confident in an aggressive submachine gun player. He's truly in your face, but he kind of reminds me a little bit of Simp in his early years, where he was so fast-paced, but now he's kind of gotten that experience to show himself and maybe slow it down when he needs to, and he's not just constantly flying at these ego chows. But we get to take a look at Hidden here. Oh, the return of the season. I love that. This is just going to be a player you are happy to see on the roster of Grave United.
I gotta shout out the mullet from Hidden right now. Some people were mentioning that before. I absolutely love it. I think he rocks it great. But hey, folks, just getting ready to load into this matchup here, making sure we got all players situated and ready to go. But on the cards right now is a dynamic closeout, or we are arriving on the closeout here to our first major. Things are starting to tighten up in the standings as we approach Major 1, and well, that is of course, going to mean a lot of storylines to pay attention to here as we move on forward. And, you know, we looked at the standings earlier. Nola Flight, of course, at the top of things. The question is, are they going to be able to maintain that? Are some of these teams going to soar on forward and fly past them? We'll see if that's the case. But taking another look at our standings, I mean, you can see it right here. Vision and Imperial, two teams that also inching up on that scoreline. Vision, most notably, 3-0 right now. They just haven't played that fourth match, so they could even become tied in standings with Nola.
Yeah, I think they'll still be a map behind because they have taken one more loss. So if they get a 3-0, they'll be tied in at least the win column, but they'll have that one extra loss. So Nola will maintain that number 1 seed, but players and teams you got to be looking out for is Vision. I think they're going to be on the up and up. They can actually tie up Imperial as well. But hey, we're done talking about those guys. The series is finally kicking off as we have Element going up against the new roster in Grave United for the Hotel Greenberg Epiphany. Let's kick it off here.
Let's kick it off. Graph map number 1. Here we go. And well, it is a dynamic one indeed, all about those heavy rotations, big key money hills. I talk about P2, I talk about P3 kitchen. Got to get cooking whenever you're there, but we'll see how things go here in the map itself. Let's kick it off.
Yeah, and we are starting off with the feature player of this series is going to be Mirage, looking to have that bounce back, and we are kind of taking that look back at the overall for his hardpoint, sitting at a 56, so not necessarily the highest in the league. He's kind of sitting around middle of the pack, I would say, and the control. That's what he's got to be looking forward to, I think, towards that map 3, so hopefully he can get a hot start here in the map 1.
Hot start indeed is what we are looking for exactly. But hey, here we go into the first hill. So far, so good for Element into the last 20 seconds here possibly. But we got to start thinking about rotations here soon. And well, the ones favored to get those locked in is going to, of course, be the side of Grave United. Already here, set up, ready to go, mounted up, ready to have a marvelous hill here to try to extend that score line. So far, a close one, though, as Kyle Aspect starting to lay down the shots and the rest of Grave United starting to play this one as careful as possible. But at the same time, I mean, it is all about just getting as much time here on P2 as possible. But as I say, that Element looking to break on in. Here's Katani, initial shots in. Not good enough quite yet, but now you got to line it up for the next. Good help from the teammate, and Hidden Season goes big for 2, but is it enough to keep them alive? Not quite. Mirage goes big for 2. That's the break for Element.
Yeah, and such an incredible break and quick one at that. At 35 seconds, they are already in control. And I didn't really like the setup that Grave United had. They were sitting at around 12 seconds left on that P1, and they were still all in this auditorium area. And they were too bunched up. It allowed the entire team of Element to get surrounded and have that cohesion to make that early on break. But now heading on into the P3, it will be the kitchen. NetXy, he's trying to slice and dice up in here. Unfortunately, not able to get that Sentex off. And already it looks like Element, they're putting the pressure onto Hidden.
Putting the pressure on, indeed. Element, this is what it's all about. Just try to get this hill back in your favor. Again, extend that scoreline, but so far, Hidden, the one to lock down Kitchen, but he's doing it almost in what seems like a solo effort, and well, that's going to become a reality soon. After 3 come in the kill feed, he's going to get taken down. Mirage able to close out the last, and that is another picture-perfect break coming in from the Element. And well, Fort Worth right now, so far so good on the hill. Time ticking in your favor evermore. And Grave United, it's all about taking another swing, another crack at the hill. We'll see how they decide to do it, but so far, Element, it's been a good hill here on P3, as Confid maybe is the one to try to spoil the chaos. Not quite. Taken down. Element hold strong.
And they have been playing it phenomenally. They haven't been getting those rotations yet, but they've been holding on and getting those breaks, giving the quick noose right around the throats of Grave United. And this is kind of a younger team from the Grave United side. Like you said, we have 2 players that came up from that under-18 COD League. So when I think you're playing a few more experienced players like Element, it's going to make it difficult. If you are not so fundamentally sound, the side of Element, they're going to punish you.
Gonna punish you indeed. And well, talk about the next hill popping here. P4, here we go. And Mirage already kicking things off as our featured player with another key kill locked in as Grave United 36-122. You need to start getting back in the saddle, and you need to start riding the horse real quick, otherwise things are going to run away from you. As Element, I mean, right now this is all about reorganizing the break as perfectly as you have before, and well, that is another miraculous one to come through. Grave United, they fail to hold on yet again, and they drop. 20 seconds left on the hill right now. We got to start thinking about rotations, Graph.
Yeah, and it's already coming to the P5. It's going to be a 100-point differential. You find yourself literally 6 feet under if you're the side of Grave United at the moment. And you're looking at one of the players who's been impressing me is Teskley. He is sitting at 13-7, 24 seconds in the hill. He has been playing out of his mind so far, and I think that's a big reason to the side of Element's success at the moment. Juju, the X Factor, has 52 seconds in the hill, so I love the way that Element, they're just kind of sharing the love, sharing the load for the side of getting in that hill time. Katani, he finds another one in the packing side of the kitchen. Grave United, they just have not been able to find any sort of opening in this rotation from Element.
Yeah, none. I mean, consistently Element holding off the gaps that they need to, always being on the hill when they need to. Talk about that. They're here, 30 seconds left. Good time to continue to swing in their favor, and Grave United yet to pass that 50-point mark. I mean, new roster, right? You want to try to get some things together. You want to try to start organizing, and maybe get the team chemistry up, maybe get the rotations up, get the strategy up, whatever it needs to be. But right now, it seems like that is not happening in Element. They are running through you. Last few seconds going to go in the favor of Grave United, but here we go to Patio, and look who's already here. Of course, it's Element.
Yeah, and they've been sitting ready and waiting for about 15-20 seconds. Nobody, even from the side of Grave United, was across that 50-yard mark, so they have a long way to go to even have a chance to touch this hill. And it might mean that NetXy, who's been phenomenal so far this season, but sitting at 9-18, and there he goes and finds one off the hill. Can he find the second? No, it's Mirage, but he has the help of Confid. So quickly, a little bit of a late break from the side of Grave United. Confid 11-14. Starting to maybe heat the gunny up, and this is what we tend to see from a lot of these younger teams. Maybe when they're going up against the Titans in Element, they feel a little bit of those jitters, and they start to get that second half surge that we might see come on in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that these young players, these young guns, they tend to do that where they might have the jitters exactly as you said, and well, maybe later in the series is when they truly turn up, so you don't want to judge too much off of the initial first map. Don't judge a book by its cover. And well, Element, I mean, right now, they're definitely trying to break on in towards P1. If you can try to get these last 50 seconds, you could technically win it here. Obviously, likely won't happen, but it's more so about that scrap and then the rotation afterwards. Grave United holding on right now. Natexi trying to stay up, but Juju able to find a big 2. Maybe he can get the second one. Not quite. Katani able to pick it up instead. And well, Element on the hill right now. So far, so good. Juju, the shots are in. And 30 seconds remain. It's going to be about the rotations here soon as the battle ensues on this second set.
And if you're looking at the mini-map right now, the team challenges coming on in from Element are superb. It just seems like every single time there's a gunfight, you see that other teammate close the width and then they chow out with you. And that's what you like to see from a lot of these teams. And that's how you're going to be winning a majority of these gunfights. Grave United, it just feels like they're a little spread across the map, trying to get trades in a second or two too late. And now they find themselves down in the game. I mean, 235 to 104. I just think this game's already done and dusted.
Yeah, I don't see them coming back from this one. I mean, you do have the backside right now. Kyle Aspect able to find a big one, but then taken down. Mirage continuing to go big. Element are on. 10 seconds left. It is unlikely to take a rebound, to take a regain from here. 5 seconds remaining for the win. Grave United, nowhere to be, nowhere to see any player from Element, and that is GG's. Well played. Map 1 goes to the Fort Worth Element.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that was a pretty easy win, it felt like, for Element. They are clearly showing why they are a top team. And yeah, you lose to NOLA in a 3-2, and which is the #1 team in the league, and the only ones to hand them a map loss. So right now, Element, they're showing, hey, we are still up there with the best one, new roster or not. We do not care how Grave United is going to perform. We're just worrying about ourselves.
I mean, you look at Teskey, right? An absolutely stellar KD there at the end as well. Like, players on this squad individually going massive whenever they need to, and that's what's propelling them to the W. So that is a good look here on map #1, but you made a very good point that I think we really do have to consider. How is Grave United with this young gun roster going to bounce back? LSCLO S&D next. You don't want to go down 0-2. That is definitely the story that we do not want to see, but hey, we'll see if maybe the Young Guns are able to tie this series up 1-1, push it to that Game 4 hardpoint lock-in. But nonetheless, I mean, right now, S&D, that's where you need to really, really get it together.
And this is a map I feel like Confid can thrive in, because being a submachine gun, it's such an open map, but when you get into the middle, that's where you can just really find those ratty spots that Confid has done so well and so consistently. I expect him to have a good bounce back for this map too. And you were looking at the stat line, everybody was negative. So nobody had a great map 1, and maybe the search and destroy is their bread and butter. But we'll just have to kind of see how that works. I want to see a sniper come on out. That's the biggest thing. If it's LSCLO, you have to bring a sniper out.
Yeah, I think right now LSCLO is like the big map that you got to keep your eyes on if you're the side of Grave United, right? Like, that was a map that was vetoed by the Element. I think that that is something that you can totally take advantage of if you're the squad. You can see, hey, they got rid of it. That might be a little bit of confidence that you can gain. You can say, hey, they may not be as confident. That makes us more confident. Just push that Game 4. And then you look towards Control, and you do got to worry about the featured player. You got to worry about Mirage at least a little bit in that mode. But nonetheless, I think right now it is about step by step, kill by kill, round by round, about figuring out how you're going to lock in that S&D. But yes, taking another look at Mirage, I mean, this guy just goes wild in Control. But hey, S&D, the weakest mode, maybe an opportunity for Grave United.
It's going to be a bounce back and a real show of your true colors for the side of Mirage. But hey, this is the major one for Grilla, and let's actually give a little bit of a Grilla video. Let's kind of take on in and see the highlights of it.
He's gonna pick up one.
We'll see. But if you're Savage, because of that, you get pushed out. You sacrifice that ace side.
Blacksmith catch Brewing. Why, he is the one with a triple kill.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get to take a look at the format for these open qualifiers. There is 4 tournaments with 12 teams and then a $1,000 prize pool to kick it all off. And I mean, it is so nice to see all these incredible teams coming together. Epiphany, what are your thoughts about it?
I mean, I love it, right? 4 open qualifier tournaments, lots of opportunities to get on in. If you're watching right now and you want to get to compete against these franchise teams, be my guest, right? Like, why don't you just sign up, go for it, give it a shot? You get into the tournament, you can compete for a 1K. The trade-off is big if you think you have what it takes. And I mean, honestly, just a great opportunity. So definitely take up that one. But regardless, you can go to the AWL socials to figure out how all that functions. One of those Grilla tournaments, as you just saw in the video, one of the organizers here in the league of the tournament formats. So nonetheless, Graph, up 1-0 Element right now. Grave United trying to tie it up. What's the through line here?
You really just have to be consistent. They were playing a little bit too loose, I think, in that map 1. They weren't playing close together. They weren't getting those trades or team chows. So you have to make sure in this map 2 you are sticking close to your buddy. Unless if you're on that island, try to be the player to find that pick. It's going to be all about finding those routes in those openings, and this is the difference compared to online and LAN. Those routes open up online, I think, typically a little bit more than when you're in a LAN perspective, because everything's being covered. But it feels like there's always going to be just that tiny little gap in the armor, and I think the side of Grave United, they have to exploit it.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, I'm looking for big routes from some of these players. Confid, I mean, I know that guy plays S&D chows all the time, so I'm looking for him to try to figure out how to find those gaps that he needs to in order to propel his team to the win here. But players just getting ready, lobby getting situated. But I think that's the big thing here, is can these young guns come out with the big plays? Is that going to be a success story for them, or are they going to fall short here? Elasilo, here we go.
Especially with the side of Grave, having these young players, they need the confidence, right? It's all about momentum for, I think, a lot of these guys. They play more emotionally than they do tactically. And that can be a feast or famine type of situation for this team. We'll have to see if they can make it happen in the El Asilo. But the one player I'm kind of looking for on Element is going to be Juju. I know he's considered an S&D guru as well, so we'll have to keep our eyes on him, as well as Mirage sitting at that 35 overall. He needs to kind of start to kick it up here.
Yeah, needs to start to kick it up indeed. Well, confident kicking things up immediately, maybe to kick up his feet, as he might get an easy and relaxing move into the A site here. We'll see if that's the case, but nonetheless, Grave United pushing things up quickly. A site, it's all yours if you win the gunfight. Shots in towards 1. Not enough just yet, but it's going to be okay. You're able to get that plant down now. Juju trying to figure out how to work out the angle. Was able to find his way through. Shots in. Good shots. Able to find the kill. And now it's going to be a quick little relapse moment here, where now Grave United are going to have to situate how they want to fortify this bomb site, as Juju going to try to break it open with the rest of the Element.
Yeah, you can see this slow pinch coming on in from Teskey. And NetXE, he's going to be the player to maybe find this, but he goes all the way to the opposite side, hidden. He's been waiting down low. He will take down Juju, as they basically have both of these hallways covered. Teskey, he gets one, but Confid sitting on the bomb. An easy round, I think, for the side of Grave. Confid being the tip of the spear, finding those opening kills, and then backing up that player as well to get that bomb plant down.
Sure. You know, you look at Confid right here, you look at the way that he got into that site so quickly. That's the flashy plays I'm talking about that these young guns needed to have, and they come out and they show it right there. It was a great, well-executed play. Confid finds the one off the bat. You get into the site, you walk in, you're free. I mean, honestly, it's a free plan on A. You get the defense, you work together as a team, and how you play things out. So now on to the next round, though. Confid. Sniper in hand, MCPR. We'll see what he can do with it, but nonetheless as well, Katani from the side of the Element trying to push things forward on over towards this A site. No presence here from Grave United at the moment, but Hidden Season gonna make his known, able to find the first blood.
And Katani trying to find that opening. Juju will get that technical trade on Hidden. As Teskey realizing that A site should be clear, throwing some shoulder checks, what you love to see. I think that's the biggest thing from top AMs to the lower tier is throwing those world-class shoulder checks and making sure you're getting that information before you just run out into the open and get gunned. But as you saw, it was Kyle. He will get the numbers back into the side of Grave United. And maybe for the side of Element wanting to work a play, but it is Teskey who gets caught out from the pistol. Kyle Aspect takes down the last member. United, they are starting to pick apart Element early.
Yep, picking them apart early, and this is that U18 turn-up that we were looking to see. Kyle Aspect, beautiful shots in 3-1 start. A wonderful, wonderful way to kick off this S&D. Third round, here we go. You want to avoid the 3-0 curse here, as this is where Grave United, I mean, if you get that halfway there and they've gotten 0, you're feeling good, you're feeling comfortable. Now it's going to be up to Confid to continue to try to line up another good kill. Natexi hasn't found anything just yet, but I mean, doesn't quite matter. Grave United as a team working well to take these rounds away, but Confid, I like this route, pushing things up quickly towards the alleyway. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, Grave United as well, pushing things up to the A site. Hidden Season, able to find one, and Confid able to catch a player off guard. That's going to be the first kill locked in for himself, and well, Teskey is able to find an answer back, making this a 2 versus 2.
And this is the thing that Grave United has done well is they switched up their strategy of how they wanted to play it. They went to A strong, and then they on the defense they pulled out the sniper from Confid, and then it was a straight B push. But Katani, he will go on in, find that final kill, and maybe it was the aggression for the side of Grave United. You found the first 2 kills, and then they kept trying to push out the enemy team's spawn, which you're just going right into the line of sight. So even when you're up in those 2v or 4v2 situations, they gave it up as Element. They played it slow and said, hey, these guys are most likely just going to rush right on into us, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do there, right? If you're Grave United, you get a bit overzealous with some of your pushes, and well, that's going to make you shut down eventually, so you got to be wary of that possibility, and you do get costed for that eventually in that round, but it's all about figuring out how you want to adapt. That is what Search and Destroy is all about. Keep that same energy, but maybe channel it into something else. Nonetheless, they still did get 2 on the board. Element's able to find the 1 here. What is Grave United going to do? Try and switch things up, flip the script. Teskey top side right now towards squad as they try to move on over towards this A site, but Grave United right now be being a bit more careful in the defense, not getting overzealous.
And this is kind of a typical A-side hit, kind of playing in that bar, trying to find an opening, but I love what number 5 has done. That was Juju. He's that island player, and he's getting all this information saying, hey, there's nobody over towards this B site, and as I say that 2 of his teammates will fall, Teskey, he will find 1, but immediately traded out Confid. This was the player that I highlighted. He can absolutely run this map as he sits at 5-1. Mirage, though, he finally pulls out the sniper and will take down Aspect. But the bomb, it's put down right in that A spot. It's going to be so difficult for the side of Element to go and grab that bomb uncontested.
8 seconds left. Element right now looking to move this one over towards one of the sites, of course, but not an easy task when you've got a player watching right over you. Natexi nades out. Mirage doing the exact same. A close engagement here. You don't have time to plant. You just got to play for the kills. This should not be his round, and that is a sure shot. Going to get taken down. Shot right in the chest.
And it was kind of interesting on that last round that 2 players were over towards that B site, and they kind of left the other 2 sitting in the middle of the map, and I'm not necessarily sure what the game plan was, because they just then had to rotate back on into the middle. It was kind of a 3v2 situation. Maybe they were trying to get more information on that B site to push through the field side, but it just wasn't quick enough, and I don't think that they had really gone over to that right side. You kind of want like a 75% towards that right side of the map instead of sitting on the south side, on the opposite side for the Element. But either way, can't do anything about it now as they find themselves on the defense. Teskey tries to find an opening as he will get taken down, but not before Juju grabbed one onto him so quickly into the 3v3.
3v3, here we go. Make that a quick 3 versus 2. Make that a quick 3 versus 1. Last man up, Netexi, trying to clutch this one up. 2-2 right now. Trying to add a couple more to his name, but is it going to be possible? Is he going to have the ice flowing through his veins right now? I'd say right now a pretty good setup over towards this A site by the side of Element. They know where Netexi's general area is going to be. They have a complete cross on this one. I mean, it's all about a matter of time now as Netexi goes for the Chell. A big opening gunfight. 2 left to take care of. Is it going to be enough time, though? 30 seconds left on the clock. 29. Gonna get paused here for a second unless one of those situations here in Netexi, you just want to get that bomb planted.
And
figure something out.
Yeah, I thought he was maybe going to push over to that B site, and Netexi wins another on to Juju now into the 1v1, and it's against Mirage, the player we were talking about who needed to turn up, and he will find that 1v1. A little bit of a dicey situation, but Element, they're keeping this one close as they get their second round on the board.
Second round on the board. So far, so good on the rebound. 3-2 right now. Grave United only up by just a hair. And, well, again, one of those situations right where Netexi, it's a difficult one to win. You're not able to get the shots in, and you're just going to get taken down. What you could have done in that situation. But, hey, as we switch on sides now, I think Grave United, the name of the game right now is figuring out how are you going to adapt to this playstyle that Element is putting forward, because they are starting to adapt to you yourself. They set up a good cross there. They know how to play those situations where they have the man advantage. So you need to find a way to find that ratty angle, find the route, get those key kills. It all kind of starts with the first blood. We'll see who kicks it off. Mirage, featured player, top side right now, looking for one. Katani doing the same, though. A beautiful gunfight. Despite throwing the nade, Confid gonna drop early on.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Confident. I don't know how many shots he missed, but I mean, he popped out right as you had that grenade cooked, so he must have missed quite a few, or maybe he was shooting at a player behind. I'm not too sure, but he gets absolutely deleted off the map. But the side of Element, you take a look at their stat line: 4-5, 4-4, 3-4, 4-4. And then on the side of Grave United, it's kind of like one player is having that pop-off and trying to carry the rest of the load. Element being a little bit more tactical and proficient with their kills. And they're playing so patient. Grave United, it just feels like they can never sit in a spot for very long, and they're getting picked off one by one.
Picked off one by one. Let the flies drop, and Katani, the last one to take one down. A beautiful drop shot. Element, another beautiful and marvelous round, locked down and tallied on the board. That's Katani. Look at that, 6-4 right now to his name. Beautiful shots with the Vaznev. Well played out of Element. We are all tied up, Graf.
And this is what you were talking about as well, making those mid-map adjustments, and it seems like Element, they're starting to do so. They're really getting a feel for how Grave United is trying to play this, and they maybe think that one of the players constantly is trying to flank, find an opening, so all they're going to do is just sit and watch angles and take that gunfight 9 times out of 10, or at least winning a majority of them. And now Katani, he works his way on into the double bunk beds on that A site, as it will be Teski. He ends up popping his dead silence, I think, and he runs all the way around and finds one hidden. Will take down Katani, who was on the site. Again, it is the trades back and forth, but the numbers going to Element.
Numbers going to Element. Only Confid now left up with the 1 versus 3. Bomb in hand. That is one advantage that he does have. And you're on over towards that A site, so maybe you can get a plant here, but swarming around you is a flurry of Element players as they look to overtake you. Confid, what a snap. First one taken care of. 2 more left on the board to kick off. And, well, this is where you maybe want to organize for a plant, maybe you don't. All about playing the situation carefully, because right now you got 33 seconds. You got enough time, but is it enough time to clutch up the situation or just to stay alive? Dead silence popped, as now I'm in the red. I mean, this is where you really got to go. Confid, topside, looking for one. Is that going to be the kill? Got to play the door. Stuns out, guns out. Teski, is he going to drop? No, Confid instead. That is a possible situation that you could have won if you're Confid. You got to win the gunfight first, though. Not an easy one, though, still. And Teski going to put Element on top now in the scoreline.
Yeah, and a difficult gunfight to win at that because he had that coverage. Even though the stun came through, Confid feeling the confidence flowing through him. Unfortunately, he's gotten slowed down a tiny bit. I think he went off to a 5-1 start. So now from, I believe, the round 3, he's sitting at 2-3. So you got to keep that in mind. Element, they're really starting to realize what the side of Grave United is doing. They're trying to switch up their strats, and it feels like it's unpredictable, but Element, they just have a setup. You can tell this is a team that has really worked out the kinks on the El Asilo, but Confid maybe changing up his angle and trying to find that kill. Won't be able to do so, but Nedexi, he will clean up one on Katani, and after grabbing the first 4 first bloods of this map, they finally get another one on.
One on the board, another one good to go. Mirage trying to stack up one for himself here, but Grave United with the man advantage trying to tie up the scoreline 2-4. Gotta play your numbers careful, can't be too isolated. And well, right now Grave United, they're going to try and close you in, hold all angles, make sure you drop. But Juju trying to say a few things about that, able to find the first one. Confid though immediately one onto Mirage, but Juju just controlling topside tower. It is his, he owns it. But Hidden Season is here to take it down from the backside. Gotta be wary, gotta watch your 6.
I love what Hidden Season did there. He didn't just try to run on in and take that gunfight, because if he did, he probably would have heard those footsteps, so he just played it slow, played it to perfection, made sure he was able to confirm that kill uncontested, because we know how these players can just snap on at any moment, even if they get hit first. So great job from the side of Grave United, making sure they secure that round, and now a 4-4, and this is that confidence thing. If Grave United, if they're not able to get this win, is going to be, I think, a long journey, or potentially a 3-0 if they don't close out this search and destroy.
Closing out the S&D here, Confid, bomb in hand. Hidden Season now towards bottom side of bar, but Confid meanwhile, again, over towards that B site. Trying to move things along here. Find a first blood to kick things off. He's going to get spotted. Element, they are there. Mirage with the popcorn. It's the double piece. And well, 4-2 right now. Man advantage over to the side of Element. And this is a good lock on the B site. Not a good start for Grave United.
Yeah, and it was a 2-for-1 body bag special out there as Grave, they find themselves down quickly in a 4v1 to a 4v none. Element, they are starting to feel themselves as they have gotten this momentum started after that round 4. They have won the last 4 out of the 5. They are wanting to make sure they are still that top team, especially in Search and Destroy, where we say championships are won on the S&D, and they want to show why.
Yep, they want to show why exactly. Now trying to go up 2-0 in the series. After a little bit of a lackluster start, of course, some hiccups and bumps in the road. But eventually you arrive at your destination, which is a 6-4 possibly. We'll see if Element does exactly that. Now moving over towards bottom side bar is going to be the squad. Juju, bomb in hand. See what he can do with it. Maybe a plant, maybe just some kills. Lock down the round as B side looking to be what they have their eyes set on. Eyes on the prize right now for Juju as he's going to look. Try to search for an initial kill. There it is. An easy trade. 3 versus 3.
Yeah, and I like what Element did here is they just immediately worked up to that B bomb site, making sure they get the bomb plant down. And this is the biggest difference I notice is not being too patient. You see a lot of teams take over a bomb site and wait for 30, 45 seconds trying to find another pick, but I don't like when teams do that because it allows the other side to kind of get a feel of where you're located. But look at Mirage. He has no remorse for Nedexi as he takes him down with the pistol. This will be a 1v3 for Hidden Season as he will get taken down
there it is.
By the player that we have highlighted so far this series. It's Mirage. Element, they go 2-0 up in the series.
2-0 up, not a situation you want to be in, of course, if you decide to Grave United. That is a dastardly scoreline right there to look at when you had such an amazing start. And then you just fumble the ball. Eventually, Element, they They grab the attentiveness to what the strategy is, and well, that's going to be an easy way to bring yourself back up there in the Search and Destroy, bring yourself 2-0 in the series as well. But folks, we have more COD on the line here, possibly another map, so we'll see how these two teams fare. We'll see if Grave United is able to start a comeback of some sorts, but before we go to Control, we're going to go to a quick break. We got more COD on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Foot race is on. Towards kitchen we go as Katani here snaking like Cell.
Absolutely dominate Battalion, as not only are they above in points, but the KD ratio.
Element, they have come to play in the grand finals because Molaflight, you are already cut off by Mirage. You have one more shot at this hill, but you are cut down by Teskey. Look at the snipe on a prop. He's not just Mirage with the sniper. Maybe we'll get something nice. There it is. Able to clip one. It's going to be 3 in the kill feed there, but there's Mirage. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Amateur World League. My name is Epiphany and I am joined by my co-caster here for the first match of the night, Mr. Graf the Giraffe. We have witnessed a 2-0 lead here from the Fort Worth Element over Grave United. New roster for Grave United as well, trying to make a good first impression. However, so far, Graf, storyline not looking so good for that.
Yeah, they're kind of living up to their name, Grave United. They're all going to be buried together, it feels like, at a certain point, because they're sitting down 2-0. They haven't really been able to get anything going on that hotel, or that hotel hardpoint, because it was 250 to 105, so kind of a walk in the park. They started off hot on the Search and Destroy, but this is what these seasoned veterans do. They get a feel for how that other team is playing, and it just kind of felt like they walked their way past them and were like, oh, hey, like, that was a good effort from the side of Element as Grave United. They need a bounce back here on the hotel control to even have a chance at this reverse sweep. Mirage, this is his mode where he is highlighted the most. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just going to be a 3-0 here, if I'm going to be honest with you, Graf. And Grave United, the trouble is looking to continue here. We'll see if that's going to be the case, but I mean, part of why they're doing so well is this guy on your screen, Mirage from the Fort Worth Element, 75 overall. That's a pretty good score, I gotta say, and when you look at Control, 133, that's the mode we're headed to. So if I'm a Grave United player, I'm a little bit worried when I look at these stats.
I couldn't agree with you more. The stat line is going to be hard to disrupt or dispute, as it was a 9-6 for Mirage. He led his team in the kills, so maybe he's going to even jump up higher in that Search and Destroy. That's exactly what you want to see from one of your IGLs on this team. Juju, everybody on that team, they were only 2 kills away from each of each other. It was 7, 8, 9, and that's exactly what you want to see on the leaderboard. Everybody doing their due diligence and carrying their own workload and not making one player to have to do the dirty work and do the rest of the job for him, where it felt like kind of confid he maybe ran out of gas halfway through the map.
Yeah, I mean, he started things off really strong, right? Some big plays to kick off that Search and Destroy, but then eventually, you know, adaptation comes through. Element, they see what he's doing and they find easy ways to shut him down. So this is where I really say that if you're confident, you got to figure out a way to keep that kind of energy going, figure out how to stay on your toes when it comes to embracing that playstyle that you have. So this is where you really got to do it, of course, because if you don't, well, you're going to be out for the count 3-0 GG's. Well played sweep. So we'll see how it goes here as we go back to Greenberg.
And the Grave United boys, they maybe need to check into that spot on the B side, get a little relaxation in, and maybe allow themselves to come back on into it and maybe extend it to a map 4 as they will be on the defense. And this is where you have to start off hot. You do not want to give up this B side early because it's going to be so difficult for yourself to come back and try to defend that A. We've seen it a few times, but it is few and far between. Grave United so far, they're looking pretty good as they're getting those trades back and forth. But Katani, if he sits back here, this is going to be a big play for him and the side of Element.
Going to be a big play indeed. Kyle Aspect, though, starting to put up the numbers as well. 1 minute left on the clock. Element looking to move things on forward, and they're looking to do it fast. As Grave United, they look to keep a strong defense at the same time. Here's Element, though, pushing things forwards. Katani, good shots in. There it is. A big kill onto Aspect. And, well, that's going to be that B site possibly locked in now, at least for some time, as Element move on forward. You got to worry about top bed, though. You got Grave United trying to be a nuisance in your spawn, but you know where they are. You got the pre-aim. You don't win the gunfight, though. That's going to be 2 ticks on that B hill if you're the side of Element. So maybe you reroute over towards A, or maybe Juju just fries. That's going to be 2 more taken down. But nonetheless, Confident continues to go big in the response. Element continuously keeping the battle alive over towards this B site.
This is the scariest thing about Element because they are taking ego challenges now. They're taking these gunfights. They don't care. I mean, yeah, they're working as a team and getting those trades, but they are now feeling the confidence in themselves that, hey, we can ego chow these players. They're not scared of these young guns' cracked ability as they just immediately demolish them off that B site as Juju, he finds 2 to his name. But Kyle Aspect, he is wanting to shut that on down as he will get 1. But Mirage there again for the trade. And this is what we said is so difficult is try to hold on in to this restaurant because right now Element, they're just trying to steal the kids' lunch money.
Yeah, just trying to steal the kids' lunch money at this point. No food for you, nothing, no mercy. Element B site locked in, A site left to go on the board, but they see it as a big opportunity to take a bite out of. We'll see if they're able to push on forward through kitchen first, though. Got to cook it up before you eat it, and well, Mirage is able to find 1, but Teski again for the next one to add on top of it. It's going to be 30 seconds left to work with. 11 to 8. The lives are starting to look a little bit close, but in the gunfight department, so far so good for the Element. They get onto the A site. The time is going fast.
And the lives are also quickening as well. Grave United sitting down to 5v9. Element, it looks like they maybe have the numbers, but not if Nadexi and Hidden Season take down 2. And now you're sitting in a 7v4. You have to stay alive as it's only 1.5 ticks are through. But if they stack this, it's going to fly on through. Teski, can he win it? But Mirage and Juju, they find 3. Everybody will fall. Even though they don't get that tick, they find 2 and still close out that round.
Still a beautiful, beautiful opening round there for the side of Element, and it is a splendid surprise to get that B site first, then line it up for that A. Amazing stuff to knock those 2 sites out of the water on a first attack round. That only sets the precedent going forward where you could do it furthermore in the next rounds. We'll see if that's going to be the case for the Element. But right now, a defensive round, you have the opportunity to go up 2-0 here in the control. Not only making it where Grave United has to reverse sweep in the control, but in the entire series as well.
And B hit right off the rip. It's going to be a 3v4 to start. So if you get these trades back and forth, you at least get it to a 3v2. Now it is back to now a 1v1. Really not any map pressure coming on in through the side of Grave United. But if you're Element, you don't want to be pushing over to that A side. They had a players rotate on in through the back side, or at least coming in off the spawn as the trades are coming through back and forth. And it just feels like it is a war zone out here on that spa. Everybody trying to get their reservation on in. Nadexi, he wins 1. He's pre-firing those corners. He is not wanting to lose this one as he sits at 7 and 8. Grave United starting to maybe work their way over towards this A site, but Element, they are sitting ready and waiting for him.
Waiting, lurking, and well, Element right now. This is so far so good of a defense. 47 seconds left. Grave United Yet to find anything just yet, but hey, as I say that, A site 1 tick locked in. You get something for your efforts here. Kyle Aspect, the only one up on the site. Now here comes the flurry of players. Even if you get A though, you gotta worry about that B site. And well, right now I think Element, they're just gonna chalk this one up, let it go. Or maybe, maybe a last-ditch effort from Teskey. Okay, what a save. Unbelievable. Don't tell me he gets another one. There it is. Teskey goes big. That's a few more in the feed. And that is Element holding on to the A site and Grave United being stranded over towards the front side of it.
Teskey going full dad mode right there. He said, hey, you guys can't have dessert before you finish your vegetables, as he just eliminated everybody off of that map, and eventually to no avail because the A site will get capped on up. I love the map positioning Element has put themselves in. You have number 3 all the way in backside patio, making sure they spawn all the way up. But look at number 7, what Hidden has done. And he's going to have to be the player to find something, as 3 of his teammates will drop. They don't have a lot of lives to their name. And Hidden, I mean, is if nobody goes down from the side of Element, he's kind of eliminated off this side of the map, even though he's completely pushed up in their spawn, as he needs to go on and help his team because they are just getting massacred out there.
Absolutely getting massacred. 16-6 right now. The lives for the side of Grave United are very, very slim right now, and you have to start being very, very careful with how you want to play things out, because Natexi, there's only so much you can do. You're able to find the first one, but now you're going to be the last one to get dropped on your team. 2-0 for the Element. Graph, they are 1 round away from the Series W.
Yeah, and this is looking like it's going to be a clean 3-0, just the way the entire side of Element. Oh my god, I thought he maybe had that second one, as he does get picked off. But Element, they have been feeling themselves since the start of this map 3. And you look at Teskey, he sits at 15-10, 7 in a row, already secured a streak. And look at the entire roster of Grave United, 9-15, 5-10 for Hidden Season, as we were looking for him to maybe be able to spring some new life into the Grave United or bring them back from the dead. Unfortunately, they are still sitting in a very difficult spot. And Element, they are just having their way with the side of Grave United.
Having their way indeed, and they will make sure that their way will always go their way. As Grave United, I mean, you can do anything that you can. But Element, they're going to do anything they can to make sure they get forward in this game. Forward in the A site specifically. 2 ticks already locked in. Confid, maybe for a save, but you gotta watch your back. A beautiful kill, but not enough to take down the entire roster of Element as they find their way back in towards A. That should be the site gone. Now it's all about B, and quickly the dreams of winning this series for Grave United are dwindling far, far away.
Yeah, and it just kind of feels like it's one of those moments where call an ambulance, but not for me, as Element, they are just running through the side of Grave United, and they are winning the gunfights on the point. When it feels like you kill 1, 2 more appear, and my goodness, Katani, a gunfight he had no right in winning, will end up taking it, as I think he got another one out of Netexi, middle of the map, and this is where they are going to spring, they are going to pounce. And finally, the team shout that you have been waiting for the side of Grave United to have, as they ended up winning that one, where both of them could have technically fallen if they took it in a 1v1. But Kyle Aspect, he's trying to do everything he can, but the pressure, it is just pedal to the metal for Element.
Pedal to the metal, pedal towards the point, but still, Grave United, they make their presence known still. They go out with a bang, if you will, and they make sure that they stay alive for as long as possible. Element, you got 1:20 and 14-14 lives to take a crack at this one. You could call it a clean slate on the lives department, and you got a lot of time to work with, so we'll see how it goes. But Natexi, that is a rough timing. You get taken out by Mirage, and now quickly talk about pedaling forward. Here's Mirage onto the site, rest of the fam there as well, and that's going to be Element already getting that second tick locked in. This site and this game is going, and just about gone. GG's, Element 3-0 in the series, 3-0 in the control. A done deal.
This was a series, I don't think I was expecting it to be this dominant coming on in from Element. They absolutely obliterated the side of Grave United as they closed this map 3 out in a 3-0 as well. You take a look at the stat line, I mean, few players had already left, but everybody from Element, they turned up in this series, especially on that final map. They're saying, hey, NOLA Flight, we'll bring you on again, and it's going to be the opposite factor. But a great series for the side of Element. But if you are Grave United, the new roster, it didn't pay off, and maybe these are the growing pains that you have of getting 2 new players onto the roster, as they just haven't quite been able to meld everything quite yet.
Yeah, you know, I think that that's really the big thing that you just hit right on the money. Like, you need to figure out how to perfect this roster, because you've got some incredibly talented players on this new Grave United roster, and they can succeed, but you gotta enable it. You gotta let it grow, because right now, I mean, like I said, and this is kind of what I was predicting, is it's gonna take some time to grow. It's gonna take some time for this roster to get better. Maybe Major 2 is going to be when they start to turn up, but right now, I mean, obviously you're checked, you're in a bad mood, but you got to figure out a way to get past it, figure out what you're doing wrong, because I know, Graf, that this roster can be nasty.
Yeah, absolutely. The roster is just turning on up, but we have a post-game interview, and it is with the man Juju himself. How are you doing after that 3-0 walk in the park?
I mean, we're just chilling. We're just trying to get it done with so we can get off.
Oh my goodness, a man of just few words, being straight to the point. You love to see it, but Juju, this was a big series for you guys, just having that bounce back. You hadn't played since week 2 versus NOLA. I guess, what were kind of your points you wanted to make here coming on into this series?
I mean, we kind of already made that point in the cup when we got a rematch against NOLA and 3-0'd them in like 15 minutes. So that was about the only point to be made.
Oh my goodness, you love to see it. Epiphany, what do you got for this man, Juju, who's sitting with us right now?
Yeah, I mean, call this a cliche question, but what are your goals here for Major 1? Obviously, we're starting to kind of get towards the end of closing things out here relatively soon, and I'm just very curious kind of what is the main goal leading up to that event for your team, and what do you hope to do when that event does arrive?
I mean, since it'll actually be like the playoffs at that point, like, we'll probably just smoke everybody realistically. There'll actually be like something on the line.
Love it, love it. I mean, I like the confidence, right? I like that you guys are gonna continue to succeed here. And on that note, I mean, I kind of want to ask you, as a team, how have you guys been kind of chemizing things, figuring out how you want to work together? Have you really changed the roles that much, or has things kind of been pretty consistent all throughout?
I mean, the only thing that we've worked on the last week or so, we actually decided to go over VOD like once or twice, break down how we wanted to play to make our HPs more consistent against like the top challengers team, which so far it's been working for the most part.
Love it. Yeah, you guys obviously are just one of those really high caliber rosters, and you proved it to us today. And Graf, I mean, what a day it's been. Why don't you give us a bit of a recap?
Yeah, so let's go over how this series came to the way it was. As we start off on that map 1, it was Hotel Hardpoint. It was a 250 to 105 win for the side of Element. You go into the map 2, started off a tiny bit slow and a great start for Grave United, but unfortunately they fell flat as they will go down in a 6-4, even though they had only 4 first bloods on that map, so playing it great from the man disadvantage. And then you head on into map 3, and it was clearly, you know, the parents tucking the kids into bed, because it was a 3-0. It was it was simply too easy for the side of Element.
Yeah, an unbelievable series, and well, Element proving themselves to truly be in their element and be as strong as possible leading up into our Major 1 here. But folks, that's going to be it from Graf and I right now. Graf's going to head out for the night, but I'll be back with a new guest onto the broadcast here very soon for our next game. So don't go anywhere. Grab a snack, grab a drink, get ready for the next one. We got another match coming up right after this.
The Amateur World League 2023 season is presented by Grilla, the new place to get great. Host tournaments for free, set up scrims, and earn more at Grilla.gg. The 2023 season is also brought to you by NYXP, your new gaming sanctuary. AWL players have access to discounted rates at the NYXP LAN Center in Kingston, New York. AWL stats are presented by LobbyUp. Connect with LobbyUp for esports tournament admining today. Now, it's time to continue with our Major 1 qualifiers.
Baby, I'm a big stunner, they don't know me as the showrunner, they ain't ready for the newcomer, when I pull up, get the news running, new slash, they be caught up by the riz, they don't gotta hide, got it like.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Amateur World League. My name is Epiphany and I am joined by my very good friend and co-caster here for the night, Mr. Salty Season, joining us on the cast. And well folks, we have a banger of a matchup on the docket. It's gonna be a good one, but hey, before we get into it, let's go take a look at our standings. So far, Major 1, NOLA Flight, they have been soaring, they have been flying high. But Salty, why don't you tell me about the rest of the teams?
If you look at the bottom four, this matchup is going to be very, very large because ForTheFam and Team Myst, both in the bottom four, this win is going to be crucial if either of them want to get a chance at the winner's bracket and work on double elim. The loser of this match very likely could end up in the loser's bracket.
For sure, and I mean, yeah, you look at Myst, you look at 0-3 right here. Definitely not a good position to be in, especially when you have the caliber of players on this roster. This might be in the sizzle, but regardless, I will say that these guys won a LAN. There were 3 of them on this roster that just won a LAN in Indiana. I casted over it, and unbelievable stuff from this team. So you wonder if that's going to be the turn up that they're looking for. But talking about the sizzle itself, let's take a look at what ForTheFam has been up to. The big question here is, can Mazzo get more help? Can he get some help on the map? And with that win, FTF can lock in winners today. So this is where things come in really, really down to the wire. And well, a battalion win the other day also is going to make them feeling confident going into this one. But hey, why don't you talk to us about Myst?
Team Myst. So I've known Tex for a long time now. He's a fantastic player. They just won a LAN in the Cheeto Lunga LAN, excuse me. Huge out of them. I mean, there's 3 phenomenal players. You look at Kex, you look at Llama 2X, and then you look at Stunna. Very good players. Then you add Strezzy into the mix. That team is just, they're going to implode. You know, they're in a tough spot right now, sitting at 0-3, but they can bounce back. I believe it.
Yeah, I think that they're going to explode as well. And I think when you look at this team and you look at the way that they have been playing consistently across other leagues, across other matches, they really have what it takes here. And well, this guy on your screen is going to be a big key factor in that. Kex, part of Team Myst here, of course, an SMG. And well, you can see it right here, 77 overall. That is a number 2. And well, you look across the board, you see S&D. That's a solid 90. You don't want to chow this guy in search and destroy. He will put you down into the ground real quick. And well, I mean, pretty standard across the board. Any other thoughts to give on Kex, Salty?
Expect that hard point KD to go up. Number 2 overall in the league. I mean, he's just trying.
Yeah, he is. I think that overall, like, when you look at Kex and you look at how he's played over time, he's just been one of those notable players in the scene that has consistently fried, consistently put in the work when he needs to. And I mean, that's why this guy is our featured player for this matchup tonight. So Myst, I mean, this is where you really got to rely off of him to put in those numbers, make those big plays, because it all comes down to that. Let's look at our maps and modes, though. Best of 5, of course, in our series here. And well, Hotel is where we're going to kick things off, and I just realized we have a completely unique map set. Hotel, Embassy, Asilo, Hydro, Fortress. Every single map going to be different here, and I mean, right now I think that when you look at this map set, you look at Hotel Hardpoint, and a good way to kick things off. Then that Hydro Hardpoint, maybe not as popular, but it still got in. Embassy is going to be the veto for that right side for Team Myst. They would rather play Hydro over that. But I mean, nonetheless, I think that we have an interesting series on the docket here tonight. Salty, thoughts on the map set?
A lot of long-range maps. The ARs for both teams, I'm going to be looking at them mostly to hold down these long-range gunfights and, you know, make way for their subs, because it is very important to get sub pressure in the game, but it all starts with the ARs. You look at Hotel, you look at Hydra for the hard points. Very long-range gunfights. But then you work towards those corridors, you're going to need your subs to get in the mix. You have Embassy and Fortress, two very ratty maps, I want to say, for your subs to get going. And then you have Asilo, obviously AR heavy as ever. But yeah, I mean, looking for defense mainly on that, because offense is very, very difficult to win on Asilo. So whoever wins an offense on that map is looking very good.
Yeah, I would point that out as well. I think Asilo's offensive wins are so incredibly important, and, you know, can really, really bring a massive, massive impact to that map, as well as you were mentioning the subs. I'm looking at players like Kex, our featured player, in order to maybe cause some of those big routes, make some of those big plays on some of those smaller corridor maps. So that's especially another big thing to consider as we go into this matchup. But folks, we're just getting ready to go. We're getting the players all lobbied up, all situated as we get this one going. But Salty, what are some additional thoughts you might have going into this one when it comes to the league overall and maybe the standings? But hey, actually, we're going to put that on hold. We got qualifiers to talk about. Hold on. 5 weeks of league qualifiers, a format for all majors right here. So 12 league teams, 4 open teams. If you play the qualifiers and you do well, you can go and play the franchise teams in the Major 1 tournament. Casted, streamed, a whole meal deal, $1,000 prize pool. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me, huh, Salty?
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, you look at the prize pool, why wouldn't you want a free $1,000 if you want to play in this league, huh? But I mean, you have 12 teams, so it's going to be a tough task. You have to go through that open qualifier, obviously, and then you have to face 12 of the best teams that you're going to play. But a shot at $1,000, I mean, you've got to go for it.
Got to go for it indeed. But hey, Salty, enough talk, more gameplay. Hotel Greenberg on the horizon, ready to go, loading on in now. And well, we'll see how ForTheFam and Myst fare in this matchup, as this is truly, truly an influential one for both of these teams in the scoreline. Myst looking for their first win, and ForTheFam looking to get another one on the board as well. This is where we all kick it off, though, as it's time, Salty, to get right into the action.
Let's have some fun here. Starting off with the featured player himself, Kex, sliding into the hill with his teammates, looking over him. Llama getting very aggressive towards the front of the hill. Let's see what Kex can find towards his corridor. Does get taken down. That's 2 down in the feed. But Llama 2X with the 2X himself turns and burns onto Mezo. 3 down, Piff. And now you got to start thinking about these rotations for P2.
I was thinking about the rotations, indeed. 30 seconds left on the current hill, and Myst, they are frying. They have come out the gate swinging. Strezzy on the hill right now, putting in the work as well. And the colors are flipped, but the teams are correct, so keep that in mind, folks. But Strezzy, they are on the hill. They are looking good. Llama able to find another 2x for himself, as now we head on over towards the next one. It's going to be Kalen taken down early on. Kex as well, trying to line things up for another one. But so far, ForTheFam, they have found nothing just yet. Rotation locked in for the side of Team Myst, as ForTheFam look to break on forward, but so far so good for Myst. Beauty shop in control right now for Llama, taken down as I say it, but nonetheless, so far so good on the current hill. But here comes ForTheFam for the break. Mazo, first one in, first one down, 48 seconds left, and well, as the hill continues to progress on forward, Kalen is maybe the one to break things open, but not quite after only able to find one. Myst, a good hold right now, Salty.
Yeah, Myst, and you can see the scoreline just starting to get bigger and bigger. Nice win out of Llama 2X. Make that 3 down in the feed. If you're the side of Myst, you want to get out, or you want to start to get out here and start rotating towards this next hill. It looks like ForTheFam, I mean, you need to get something going here if you want to stay in the game. But Strezzy already back here trying to cause some trouble with AR, just trying to post up. You already have a player sneaking into the hill. He's able to find one. That's Llama 2X. Can he stay alive and wait for his teammates? Llama 2X is trying to snake. He can't find the kill, but his team is there, Piff.
Team is here, set up, ready to go, ready to get cooking here on the kitchen hill. As ForTheFam, they're trying to organize for the break, as Myst, again, another solid rotation, looking to be locked in. Excuse me, the colors are flipped, so it's actually Myst trying to organize for the break right now, as Stun to go with the first one on forward, looking to find the first kill, as ForTheFam right now in the hill, looking good, now looking to be dead, as that's going to be Myst. A great break locked in, Stun to go, cleaning things up. 40 seconds left right now to garner, and you can really get past that 100-point mark pretty easily here. Here's Kalen, though, another crack, and another taken down hill there from Myst right now, as this is going to be a great series of kills, a great hill, excuse me, and well, 22 seconds left on that ult right now. It's going to be all about that rotation, Salty.
Yeah, definitely so. Kex is going to be huge right here. Can he find one? He's put shots down. A slow start at Amazo, sitting at 1-7. Can he get it going? Like you highlighted before the match even began, he needs to go off if he wants to have a chance to win this match. But Kex just trying to lock it down on this nasty heady. Tough gunfight to win. He's just holding it with his team. His team's just getting kills. It just almost feels like every time Myst gets the hill, it's just so hard to break for the side of ForTheFam, Epiphany.
Yep, so hard to break indeed. Cax, our featured player right now, trying to fry here on P4, and well, this could be exactly what he needs in order to get those numbers up even more. The first kill in, the first player down. That's going to be a few more lining up to break on in, though. Still Myst holding on strong. Kex putting in the work. Llama doing the exact same. 33 seconds left on the hill, and so far the majority of the time in this game has gone duly in the favor of Myst.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Strezzy, Llama sitting at 15-6, having himself a game. He's carrying over the LAN experience from that LAN, but nonetheless, the time just keeps ticking towards Team Myst. Looks like ForTheFam will finally have a rotation here. The colors just got me mixed up. I apologize, but ForTheFam finally have a rotation. But you just look at the scoreline, Piff. I mean, 155-29. This is an absolute bloodbath here at map number 1 hotel.
An absolute bloodbath indeed. Myst so far so good. 157-33 for the fam. They finally get to dining on Myst here in kitchen, but we'll see how quickly the break comes on through. So far, it's been a pretty lackluster game from them, but Myst, of course, knocking on the front door, ready to find their way in. Stunna, that's a big one. Llama lining up for yet another one. 4 minutes 16 left on the clock. Lots of game time to be played with, but the contest does come through, and Myst, they're going to be back on right now. They're going to be getting the time ticking in their favor and making sure that all angles are cut off as we get ready to rotate over towards P6.
Yeah, you can look at number 2 slowly starting to work towards that. Cax with a nice 2-piece. That's 3 down for the side of ForTheFam. I mean, it just feels like their teamwork is just on a different tier than ForTheFam. But Kalen here right now, nice shots on the Strezzy, but not good enough as he takes him down. Huge gunfight towards that P6 side. Can Myst lock it down, Piff?
See if Myst can lock it down here. A big back hold here from Strezzy, able to find a couple for himself, not until he gets naded out. It's going to be ForTheFam right now, doing in the work right now to try and find a break onto the hill, but Myst, I mean, this is where you just got to get the time moving in your favor, right? You get it closed out here. You don't even worry about that next rotation. I believe you can do it maybe down by like 1 point. But nonetheless, I mean, this is looking to be their game as ForTheFam. They try to organize for the break, but Myst right now. It is all about the kills. Stunna, a big 2, but eventually the break comes on through. ForTheFam, they are on. They are looking solid on the hill right now, but are they solid enough to make the insurmountable comeback? Are they solid enough to climb the mountain?
I don't think they might need some serious ice picks to climb this mountain. It is very steep. I mean, they're 30 seconds away from the win, but I mean, just look at the slaying. I mean, Llama 2x 23-9. I can't highlight it enough. He's just. It seems like he almost has delusional confidence right now. I mean, look at the scoreline, 226-60, Pitt. This is just dominating stuff here in map 1.
It's brutal. It's brutal. And, you know, you look at the way that Myst has consistently played things out, and a LAN champion team, just, this is where you start to claim your victory, right? You just won a LAN. Now it's time to get your first win in the AWL. And, well, when Mazo is shooting like that, for the fam, maybe they're able to find a way in order to make something happen, but Myst, I mean, this is where all you got to do is you got to get in for a solid 24 seconds. Slaypex trying to hold down the back line, and it's a good one, but he's going to get taken down eventually. Still, frontside spawns over for ForTheFam as Myst, they have failed to break on in so far. All about closing it out. As ForTheFam, you would have to do the unthinkable to try to win this one, but if they did, it would truly be phenomenal. Nonetheless, though, Myst, all about just that rotation. You already have the spawns for new. This should be a done deal. A seal on the package, bow on the gift.
Yeah, bow on the gift. It isn't Christmas, Piff. That was a month ago, but that's the point. Kex finds one. Can he find the second? Stunna there with the help. I mean, this is almost impossible, Piff. I feel like this game's just over. I mean, 2:30 now. You need 20 seconds for the win. When you have Strezzy shooting laser beams like this, does get taken down. The caster curse comes into play, but nonetheless, Llama 2x just getting 2x's all over the board, make that 3. I mean, Pip, this is just dominating stuff. I mean, Stunning Goat finds another. That should be the map win for the side of Myst.
Should be it. Last few seconds coming in. Strezzy to close it out with another big 2. Front side going to be covered for the time being. There's Llama to pick it up and Myst. That is a 100-point club to the opposing team. And map number 1. What a way to kick things off here in our series.
Yeah, I mean, that was just pure dominance. I mean, like I said, like I highlighted, they're just playing with confidence, so much confidence after winning 2 best-of-5s at that LAN in the grand finals against a very good team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're just shooting laser beams. I mean, you highlighted Mazo, 8-20. He needs to step it up if his team wants to win, but just dominating stuff out of Myst.
Dominant stuff out of Myst, indeed. This is exactly what you want to see after winning a LAN and after, well, struggling in the past, to be honest, within this league. Now you are finding your ground. You're finding your footing. You just got a 100-point club on map number 1, and we know how good Kex is at Search and Destroy. I'm confident for the side of Myst leading into this map number 2. We'll have to see, but I mean, that guy has been going off. He went crazy in map number 1. Finished with a good steady KD of an 18 and 15, and I mean, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, Kex is one of those players to pay attention to. But let's look at our series here. Salty, Embassy, Search and Destroy up next.
I'm curious to see if either of teams pull out a sniper rifle. I mean, it is not GA'd this year, so it'll be very, very, almost like, I don't know how to word it, but it'd be very useful for both teams to use to take advantage of that utility. Speaking of utility, I mean, I just feel like nades and stuns are also very important in the Search and Destroy. Can Myst carry it over into map number 2? Pace is going to slow down a lot. I feel like Myst was playing with a whole lot of pace in that map number 1. But let's see how they adapt here in map number 2.
Yeah, let's see how they adapt. I mean, I look at Embassy, right? This is not a fan favorite, I will say. People don't really like this one for Search and Destroy, but I'll tell you, I like casting it. I think that it is actionable. I think that it is very an intriguing map to watch for the matter of how many of those open lanes there really can be. That B site, it goes wild. A site can be really fun to look at sometimes, and those close quarter engagements as well. Let's take a look at our featured player, though. 77 overall for the side of Kex, as we mentioned before, and I mean, consistency across the board is the name of the game, but what I'm pointing out here, Salty, is that 90 in S&D.
Yeah, the 90 in S&D for sure. I mean, you can just see.
And this is kind of one of those examples too, where like if you look at average player rated at 50, shows that this guy's above average, 77, so that puts him way above average. And you know, I also look at Kex and I look at his chemistry with the rest of Team Myst. Clearly there's something going on if they were able to just win a LAN. So I think communication obviously is so key, and that is where I really want to see these guys excel in Search and Destroy, and I think that they could do just that. I think Search and Destroy can really be their X factor here, and I think they can go up 2-0 in the series as well. I mean, we'll see what ForTheFam can do. Let's talk about them for a moment, because I am definitely kind of curious, right? Like, what we saw from them map 1 obviously was not good, but what are the improvement points, do you think, for them from a player perspective, Salty?
I mean, you just got to slow down the pace of the game. You got to get your ARs in the power positions to lock down those sites. I feel like defense is going to be very influential in this Search and Destroy, and I feel like your subs have to be the gatekeepers, honestly, to get those first bloods. Like I said, I'm curious to see if we're going to see a sniper. Be very intriguing, like with a sniper like myself. A little self-gas, but that's besides the point. But can ForTheFam tie up the series is the big question.
Yeah, I think that's the big question too, right? Like, are you going to dial it up? Are you going to turn up here? I think that in general, you look at the way that ForTheFam is playing, and it really comes to an increasing a pace and getting some of those rotations locked in, because right now that this is a decisive moment, right? Like, you got to figure out how to adapt, and you got to do it now. In Search and Destroy, we know this. This is a mode all about adaptation. This is where you need to know what the other team is doing, and you need to know at all times. Otherwise, things are going to go bad for you real quick. And, well, you know, you look over towards the side of Team Myst, and they have consistently had decent Search and Destroy. You look at the way that Kex has done it. You look at them winning a LAN. I mean, this is where they do a exceptional job. And ForTheFam, I become worried for them. Are they going to go down 0-2 and have to reverse sweep? I don't know.
I mean, I almost feel like if you go down 0-2, I think the series is just done and dusted. I feel like reverse sweeping a guy like Kex in Llama 2X is just so difficult. And then you have to beat him in another search and destroy. So even if you lose the search, you have to beat him in another search and destroy. You have to beat him a hard point where you just got 100-point club dominated. And then you have to beat him in a control, which is just like, I don't know if they can do it. They need to win. This is a must-win map if you're the side of ForTheFam.
Must-win map indeed. You got to tie this one up 1-1. Embassy, the place where they're going to try and do it. We'll see if that's going to be a successful story or if this is going to be the story of their downfall to 0-2 in the series. Right on the other side of our loading screen here. And, you know, one thing I'll mention, too, is that this is where you just got to figure something out if you're the entirety of this team, right? Like, you got to figure out a strategy. What's your plan going into this? Decisiveness is key, but hey, here we go, Salty. Embassy, S&D, map 2.
Looks like no snipes out for the side of Myst, but getting aggressive is AG. Looks like it's going to be an A hit for the side of ForTheFam. I mean, look at number 4, Mezo. He's already, but as I say that, Stunna gets first blood. Mezo flies in, evens out the odds in a 3 versus 3. He's going to be very influential. What else can he find here? Slaypex just trying to play his life. Now that's 2 down for the side of Team Myst. 2 versus 3 now, Tiff.
Yeah, A-site going to be an interesting place to go off the bat here for the side of ForTheFam, but it's looking to be a successful one. Myst was not able to catch that one quite, and, well, that's going to be Stunna last up in the 1 versus 3 here. 43 seconds left. We'll see how much ice he's got in his veins right now. This is where you have to play so utterly careful. Top side right now, trying to figure out what the best game, what the best plan of action is going to be. And, well, that's definitely not it. You're going to drop down and hit the dirt immediately. ForTheFam starting things off strong.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, you could just see, like I said, the sub pressure from the side of ForTheFam. They just got right into that kitchen area very, very quickly. But as I say that, I mean, like I said, the offense is very hard to win on this map. So that's a good stepping stone for the side of ForTheFam, but how will Team Myst respond?
Yeah, I think that this is one of those examples where Team Myst, you know, you start to see this real quick, what they're doing, you know, that kind of quick, direct sight hit, and then you just push up, down A, and that is exactly what you had to do. AG was able to find one alongside Mezo there for the first blood, and now it's going to be all up to Myst right now to work the spawn side of ForTheFam, and I mean, you've effectively been trapped inside now. Mazo, you're going to have to try to find somewhere to get out. Stunna now bottom side, good shots in, unbelievable tracking, and now it's going to be a 1 versus 2 for Stunna once again, and he will drop somehow, some way. ForTheFam, they emerge victorious from that situation, and Myst, despite the first blood, despite the pinch, they crumble.
That was a ludicrous gunfight win on a Stunna. I mean, he just literally hit-fired him the entire gunfight. But ForTheFam, I mean, 2-0 up now. Can they close? Can they, you know, keep the pressure up? I mean, I feel like they're just playing so quick towards their sites. They're not allowing the ARs of Team Myst to get any sort of breathing room to, you know, shoot the other team. I mean, Mezo 5-0. He looks like he's hit a quick regain here, taking a deep breath. But ForTheFam back on offense. Let's stay on Mezo if we can. See if he can get these streaks. They're so influential. It looks like, okay, I guess the game's ending because, I mean, Kex just popped a 3-piece on his teammates.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there, but Kex, I guess a good 3-piece. But nonetheless, you know, here we go. Going to a break. Let's talk about what we've seen so far, Salty. Been interesting. ForTheFam, they've started this one off pretty strong here in this game, and I'm curious, what is making them do that?
Like I said, I keep reiterating this. I mean, they're just subs are just getting in their faces. They can't do anything. They're just playing with so much pressure. I almost feel like they were lacking that. I feel like that's why they lost the map 1 because they were just getting outslayed, to be quite frank with you. But like I said, the aggressiveness has started to pick up. This would be a big map win, like I said, if they were to even the series up at 1-1.
Yeah, for sure. I think the aggressiveness is incredibly important. They got a bit stagnant on some of those rotations in the first map, and when it comes to search and destroy, you want to be careful, but you don't want to be stagnant. You want to make sure that you're not holding up somewhere, allowing the enemy team to push you in, which is almost what Myst did in that previous round, where they got pinched and then they didn't quite know what to do. They almost went into panic mode. Stunna was able to get that beautiful kill, but in the end, it won't quite matter when, you know, you're already closed in. You haven't made the decision. You haven't made the team play. And going to cut you down in the end, and well, in that round it does. So for the fam, opening things up strong. Thing I want to talk about though is with this break, what is Myst going to discuss on how they might want to change things?
I feel like right there you just saw like their post plant setup was just kind of like dire in a way. Like we weren't watching the correct lanes. I mean, I feel like if you're playing Embassy, you got to worry about your flank 24/7 because it's just so like so close quarters that a sub is bound to hit through. And then on defense, I mean, I feel like you got to be patient and just play together. I feel like the trades weren't there for Team Myst at all, like they were in map 1. But yeah, I mean, Team Myst, like I said, just playing trades more effectively, especially winning your defenses, because you cannot be losing defenses on this map.
Yeah, for sure. I think Team Myst, this is really an important moment for you. Use this time, figure out what you want to do, play for the trades, because you get the first blood, you get first blooded, right? Like you don't want that to happen. You want to get that immediate trade. Otherwise things go bad for you real quick. So I think if you're Team Myst right now, figure out either you need to do a bit of a more stagnant play style, not completely stagnant, but you need to play a bit more cautious, or you need to ramp up the speed, whatever it is. We'll see. We're going to go to a quick break, folks, to figure out what is going on with this lobby. We should have it situated soon, but we will see you very soon. Don't go anywhere.
He's gonna pick up one.
We'll see. But if you're Savage, because of that, you get pushed out. You sacrifice that ace side.
Blacksmith catch Brewing. Why he is the one with a triple kill.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is time to get this one underway. 2-0 up for the fam. Embassy is what we're loading into if you're just tuning in. And up in the series that was Myst is for the fam. They try to tie this one up, but Salty, name of the game right now for Myst is how are you going to tie up the Surge and destroy itself?
I think you got to play with more pace. You can see for the fam is playing sort of Team Myst game right now by being the more aggressive team. Unfortunate for Meza because he was close to streaks sitting at 5-0, but that will reset. Like I said, 2-0 for the fam. Series 1-0 for the side of Team Myst, Piff.
So far, Team Myst right now trying to figure out how to open this one up strong. And, well, one way to do it for the fam is to find 3 initial bloods to go up 3-0 here. And, well, only 1 player left up, 1 player down. And you can stop the stopwatch and look at the unbelievable time that round just occurred in. 3-0 up is for the fam, Salty.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to toss it to you, but then that round lasted, quite frankly, like 10 seconds. I don't even know what just happened. I looked at the game, and I saw 4 dead. And I was like, geez. But make that 3-0 now for the fam. I mean, this is looking good if you're side for the fam. I mean, you're 3-0 up, looking to tie the series. Like I said, this game is very influential. But let's see what Team Myst can accomplish on offense. Let's see what site they decide to go to.
We'll see what site they decide to go to. Indeed, it's going to be the big decision to make. As Myst right now, trying to find that first blood. That's the first step. It's going to be a big one coming out of Strezzy, as now Kex moving things through Kitchen and going fast. This is the pacing change we were talking about. Another big one comes through. Kex, you can't win that one, though. You got 2-pieced by Mazo. And now Mazo going to be the last one. 1 versus 2. Myst trying to get their first on a board. As Strezzy, a beautiful gunfight win to close out the round. They get back in the saddle and they ride along. Now 1 on the board for Myst, 3-1 though for the fam.
They almost did what the fam did in that first round of offense, where they just fly through Kitchen and get kills. You could see Kex starting to play with a little pace now in the search and destroy, and it worked out very well for them. 3-1 now for the fam, back on offense, where they've seen plenty of success. But Epiphany, this is a big round. Can Team Myst get back into the search and destroy? Will for the fam extend their lead?
That's the question at hand. We'll see if Team Myst are going to find a way to repel this one. As this is where the decisive rounds really come through. You gotta allow yourself some mistakes here. As this is where, I mean, Myst right now, you've got to find a round, make it 3-2, keep it competitive. Llama, first blood, that's a good first step. Easy trades come through, though. It's gonna be for the fam, finding one as well, 3 versus 3. Now we come to a little bit of a standstill here. Myst right now trying to figure out what their next move is going to be, but most importantly for the fam, having to figure out their offense.
Llama gets picked, but Kex in this little ratty spot. He does hop down. Can he make the play? Can he be the influential person for his team? Pops dead silence. Can he find this player in top embassy? Nice win on a stunner. Kex finds the guy. Top embassy. 2 versus 1 now. Can Kalen clutch this up? 1 versus 2 now. Bombs down towards that B site. Looks like he'll retrieve it. 1 versus 2. 30 seconds to play with. Pops dead silence. Can he catch his player up top? Looks like he's just going to go fast. Pops open the door. He looks the wrong way. He looks the wrong way. And Team Myst, they get back into the search and destroy, Epiphany.
Back into the search and destroy, 3-2 now. This is what I was kind of expecting, is that for the fam, they would come out the gate swinging, and they would swing hard, but Myst eventually would find a way to rally things back. I think that is a prime example of how good they are truly as a team, and that is what you're supposed to do if you have a player like Kex. If you've got a land champ team like this, they clearly know their way around search and destroy, and all it takes is a little bit of time to adapt, say, hey, guys, I think I know what they're doing, and then you just start soaring, you start flying high, and I think that's what Myst is up to right now.
Yeah, I mean, having a player like Kex on your team is so influential, but looks like it's going to be a B hit, for the side of Team Myst. Looks like pace is going to slow down a little bit. Nade stuns out. Kex going to get this bomb down. Let's see how For the Fam decides to retake this. Kex just trying to play this back alley. He's holding an iron. Gets taken down by Slapex. Slapex, first blood. AG able to find another 2 versus 4 now. For Stun It and Llama. Can they clutch it up for the side of Team Myst?
Can they clutch it up? It's still Myst right now, trying to get back into a tied scoreline. Llama, that's a good first step. But you're the last one up now. Do you have the 6th sense? Yes, you do. A beautiful kill comes through, and now it's 1 versus 2 now. Diffusing coming through. You got to play this bomb, but most importantly, you got to check the site, and you are not able to because you're gunned off the top side. For the fam, well, Myst starts to inch up on their scoreline. They extend things on their own. 4-2 for the fam.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I feel like you had the site if your team missed. I feel like you just lost the gunfights. If Kex wins that gunfight back alley, I feel like the round plays out a little different. But props to For the Fam for retaking that site. Very unfortunate for Stun. I mean, nothing you can do. I mean, you really just needed 1 kill, but nice look over for the side of For the Fam. But back on offense, they go, Piff.
Back on offense we go. Time to take another crack at it if you're Myst. got opportunities. You can allow yourself one round of a mistake as you're down 4-2, not 5-2. Right now, you got to find some momentum. For the fan, they always are finding an answer back even after you do. Mazo, a good initial first nade out is Myst right now, trying to push things on forward. Here's AG onto the site right now. 1 minute left on the clock. As Myst, the mid push comes through. A beautiful gunfight out of Stunna. AG was able to find one. Here's Kalen with the trade. And well, now we've arrived at a 3-2 for the fan with the man advantage right now as Myst. It is all on to them to clutch this one up to avoid the 5-2. As Kex, that is a beautiful kill to try to do that. 2 versus 2. Now, the numbers have been equated. The opportunities are in a flurry right now for Myst. As you just got to play a good, strong defense. Stunna, that's a good step for it. Kalen, the last one up in the 1 versus 2.
Yep, it looks like Kex might catch him, or maybe he slips through. Kalen, he slips through, but can he find a kill? Breaking all the doors around the map. He's able to find Stunna 1 versus 1. Does he have the ice? Can he clutch it against the land champ? Can he win it? Nice shots. He backs Kex down, but he has to plant this bomb. Very little time to work with. He's just trying to play his life. Bomb's down. Kex has to watch over. He tries to gun him out of the window, but he cannot. He missed. Again, get within 1 round, but they've yet to tie this game up, Epiphany.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what Kex does best. Search and destroy. It's his best mode according to the stats, and well, that is exactly why. Unbelievable shots there towards the end side, and well, now we arrive at 4-3. For the fam, not quite at that match point yet to tie the series up 1-1 as Myst. They've still got life in them in the search and destroy. Now it's all about tying things up 4-4 and then taking that lead, of course. But hey, I mean, this could be around 11. We'll see. But nonetheless, quick B push coming through. Mazo able to find the first blood on the cross. Slaypex, another big one as well. And Myst, the numbers are already starting to dwindle. And for the fam, already establishing their dominance in the kill feed.
I feel like outside of that first round, I feel like Myst has just struggled on offense. It almost just seems like they don't have... I mean, I feel like For the Fam just kind of slow their pacing down a whole lot, just waiting for Myst to run into their pre-aims. And Kalen, he's just circling like a little snake on this heady. Shout out Celium. But I mean, he has this entire site locked down. Bomb is down literally on the sign. The crossfires, I mean, this is going to be such a tough retake if you're the side of Myst. Stunna, Strezzy, you have your work cut out for you.
Your work cut out for you indeed. This is a big one. You got to try to tie up this scoreline. Otherwise, you succumb to the 5-3 curse. Maybe that's a good thing for you if you're Myst, but nonetheless, I mean, this is Stunna now in a 1 versus 4, and that is not an easy one to get out of. You are spotted. You are hunted. You have got a target on your back. And this is just not a situation you really get out of. 17 seconds left. For the fam, going to go up 5-3 here on the brink of tying up our series.
On the brink, indeed. I mean, but yeah, I've seen some 5-3 curses in the past. I mean, a 2-round lead in Search and Destroy is definitely not safe. I feel like, you know, we've seen a lot of 5-3 comebacks, you know, here and there. I mean, it's a curse, like people have said, but I feel like they're just looking so good in the Search and Destroy For the Fam. I mean, you've got to think that they close this out 6-3, especially on offense, where they've been so successful by slowing their pace and picking it up at the right times. It almost just feels like they're outclassing Team Myst here on Embassy.
Outclassing and maybe teaching them a few lessons here on Search and Destroy. Myst right now, you got to find something, some momentum as well. That's a big way to do it, but now it's a 1 versus 1 so suddenly. The car bombs, the kills, they all come through, and Stunna and AG are left to battle it out. Stunna, this is to keep it alive. This is to keep it alive. AG, good shots in, not quite good enough. Stunna keeping Myst held on by a string. 5-4. Round 11 could be on the cards here soon.
Mind around 11 going the distance, but I mean, Stunna almost just got his eyes wide open after that gunfight. I would have dropped my jaw if he would have won that, but 5-4 now. Myst goes back to the offense where they've been almost dire. I mean, I feel like like I said, out of the first round, they've been very unsuccessful. It just feels like they're playing the right power positions For the Fam is, but nonetheless, hopping on board with Stunna, sitting at 8-4, having a beautiful game. But Mazo has his cross. What can he spot? It looks like he's going to back on up and play his life. I feel like Slaypex can feel the pressure now.
Yep.
Slaypex just trying to snake and get some information. Shots are down. Can't finish the kill out. Nades out. He's just trying to stay alive. here. Mazo also holding this top embassy. I mean, Piff, this is like, I feel like I'm watching a stalemate right now. I feel like I'm watching World War II capture the flag.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I mean, right now I think for the side of Myst, it's all about figuring out how to organize that attack, because that time will start to dwindle eventually, and Slaypex is doing everything he can to snap right onto you, whatever push you make. As Myst right now, moving over towards this A site, but Mazo here to cut things off for the fam. They're setting this one up well. They have put Myst in a little bit of a trap here. It's all about finding that first pick, though, in response if you're Myst, because Llama is done for. This is where you really got to be careful here. You only got 26 seconds to work with, and Mazo, he's got the angles as well, ready to pinch you out. Oh, I thought that would have been a scary gunfight for a second. He's able to find it. Now, the time is still not in the favor of Myst. The numbers still not in the favor of Myst. Now, dwindling down to one. Strezzy, the last man up, the last man down for the fam. They somehow, after a appalling search and destroy, or after an appalling hard point, they get a search and destroy. They tie the series up 1-1.
Series up. That's a huge game for the fam. You cannot go 2-0 against a team like Team Myst. I mean, I feel like Mazo just had a phenomenal performance, sitting at 10-4. Or excuse me, he finished 10-5, 2.0 KD for him. Hats off to him. But Piff, I mean, that's a huge game for the fam.
Yeah, huge game for sure. I think that in general for the fam, this is where you really, really use this momentum, because I did not expect them to get that Surge and Destroy. That is probably the last thing that I would have guessed, considering how good Kex is at SMG that we know of, you know, considering LAN champions, the stats that we're seeing. And it's some of these inconsistencies that might be exposing Myst a little bit. So this is where you really, really got to live up to that LAN champ name, where you really gotta play like you did in that hard point. Control now coming up. Hard point's gonna be later on in the series, but Control, talk to me about that, Salty. What do you think that's going to look like?
I mean, the ARs, like I said, I mean, look at Kex here, 77 overall control. He's gonna be a highlight for sure, because I mean, like I said, the SMGs need to get in the face of the ARs if you want to disrupt the AR pressure. I feel like spawn trapping is a very underrated and huge part of Control. When you're on offense and you get pushed up to the top grill on the enemy's or opposing team's side, I think it's just so hard to kill him off, and it just applies pressure. Also, the building towards that B site, if you get a player in that, it's very hard to get him out of it. And then on defense, I mean, you just got to hold the proper positions and not allow them to get towards your side. But it's going to be a fun one, Piff. I mean, 1-1 in the series. Let's see who's going to take it.
He was going to take it, indeed. I mean, this is just where Kex is going to be so influential, as you mentioned on the map, I think, right? Such a good job of holding off some of those lanes, being that sub-nuisance for this team in general. I think that that is super important to pay attention to. And now as we head into this next one, I'm curious, like, is this a respawn wave right now for Myst? And is it, I guess, in turn as well, a search and destroy wave for the side of ForTheFam? Is this going to pass over to respawn? What I'm worried about.
I mean, I feel like it's a little too early to say that, but I mean, like you said, ForTheFam looking strong in search and destroy. Myst, obviously the slaying power was there during the map 1. I mean, the ARs and the subs just dominated. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, ForTheFam could come out in 3-0 Myst and win the hard point, but I mean, the ARs for Team Myst looking strong as ever. I mean, you can see the sub duo, Llama 2X and Kex. I mean, they're just flying, winning ludicrous gunfights that I've never seen before in my days of playing. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just tough to call at this point.
Yeah, I think it's really tough to call. The predictability, of course, at MW2 and in general with these teams is obviously, per we've seen with ForTheFam, just winning that search and destroy like that is a very difficult thing to try to discern. And so I think assumptions aside, we can try and figure out what's going to happen. But nonetheless, I think we'll just have to see map. Hopefully going to be starting soon here. But nonetheless, I think that ForTheFam in general is just one of those teams that you really, really look at as kind of a dicey one. The standings, I can't remember exactly where they are, but I know that it's not like the greatest. So this obviously would be a big win for them. So thank you, production. Appreciate it. Standings going to look decent. Okay, so 1 and 2 right now. They got 10 points. they're not doing the greatest, right? But they're still not 0-3 like Myst are. And again, this is just such a surprising and kind of odd and funky series, however you want to phrase it, because of the fact that Myst, they're 0-3, and then they come out, they win a LAN, and then they come out and they win the hard point like that to open things up in this series. Then ForTheFam, they win a search and destroy like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of bewildered at how things have gone so far. A little bit odd. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, a little odd indeed. I feel like the standings are a little flipped right now. I feel like ForTheFam and Team Myst are definitely two of the top 6 teams in the league. But nonetheless, I mean, you can just see the individual talent that both teams have. It's going to be a fun one for sure. I mean, I'm looking forward to the major because that's where the big money is going to be made. $1,000 prize pool. It's going to be interesting to see who takes it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who takes that for sure, because, you know, I think when I look at both of these teams and their strengths and weaknesses, and I think any team in general within this league, right? Like, this is where you really, really need all the momentum that you can get. You need to start building it now. Otherwise, things will go really, really bad for you really, really quickly. Because, I mean, even if you started strong, it doesn't really matter. Even if you have a great standing and you go into the major and it's a flop, all of that was for nothing. You didn't win any money by doing good in the qualifiers. So, you know, this is where you really have the potential to put on a good show, do a good job, and set the precedent going forward.
Yeah, I mean, definitely so. I mean, I feel like Call of Duty is just such a day-to-day game where any given team can win on any given day. And I mean, I feel like, hey, I mean, today could be one of those days for the fam. But I mean, loading into map number 3 now for LSC though. LSC is going to be taking a piff. I mean, like I said, looking at the main ARs, the flexes to get in the faces of the side of either squadron. But here we go, piff LSC though, map number 3.
Map number 3, here we go, ready to load on in as Myst. They suffer a search and destroy defeat, and they try to organize for the win in the control to try and stay dominant in the respawn. Let's get after it, folks.
And looks like
what is going on?
We're having a tough day with the production, but with the game. The game is, you know, it's not the greatest when it comes to the lobbies, but looks like we'll be having a reset. I was getting ready for it. Looks like the Texas teammate had to restart his PC. So we'll get back into the map as soon as possible for you guys. But Piff, I want to ask you a question. What are you looking for this map for either side?
I'm looking for continuation of consistency from ForTheFam, I think, is the big thing to look at. Are they going to carry over that momentum from Search and Destroy into this one? Or is Myst going to find a way to bring things back with their previous respawn success versus this team in this hard point? So we'll have to see. But folks, we're going to go to a quick break while we wait for this player to get situated, wait for the lobby to get all set up again. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is time to get into our next map of the series. I appreciate your patience, but again, my name is Epiphany. I'm joined by Salty Season. It is time to kick off the remainder of our series here. 1-1, map 4 locked in. Of course, map 3 on the horizon here on LSCLO. We'll see how these teams fare for the fam. A nice search and destroy win, but now Myst trying to rally it back into a control.
Yeah, what do you say we have some fun right now here on a CeeLo? Starting off with the featured player himself, Kex. This is going to be an influential map for sure. It looks like Kex is not playing. He's a little AFK, but he picks up the controller. He's playing. Don't you worry. But here we go, Piff. I mean, this is a very influential map. I feel like whoever wins this is in a good spot to win the series.
About to win the series indeed, and well, now when I look at the side of Myst, I start to think about the ways that they could try and win this one. It could be those fast subs, could be the slow ARs just holding things down, whatever it is. As CeeLo, we know how big it is to lock down some of those attack rounds, and well, I mean, that's something obviously Myst is trying to do here off the bat. But Kex already early on a gunfight, gonna have to back away from that one. You can see towards that left side right now, Myst is trying to push things up, but having a little bit of trouble right now. As ForTheFam just continuing to try to be up in the face of Myst. As hey, AG, another big kill coming through for the fam. Time starting to try and go in the favor of Myst, though. You need to find an answer back. Kaylin, the one to do it. Kex now on in the glitch spot. Oh my goodness. Oh,
I've never seen this before.
What is this?
That's how you know you play the game a lot. Anyway, Kex flies in. He's able to find one. Cannot find the second llama. Gets his trade, though. Can he find this other guy? No. Mezo gets him. Looks like it'll slow down a lot, but nice shots from Stunna. Stunna getting into this influential power position, if I do say so myself, Biff. I mean, I feel like if you get an AR up here, but wow. As I say that, AG just rips his head off. But like as I was saying, that top tower spot, I mean, it's just so huge for either side, but time's starting to dwindle now. 20 seconds. You need to get on a site if you're the side of Team Myst. 3 down on the feed. Last guy up is going to be number 6. That's going to be Slaypex. What can he find here? Just trying to wait for his teammates and get a team push, but you got to go. The B is going very quick. You have 3 players stacked on it. That's the second tick. Can they get the third? Kaylin able to find 1, but the point is just keeps going. Strezzy finds 2, but AG finds 1 himself. Looks like it's going to be 1v1 on the point. He looks the wrong way, and Kex finds it, and that's going to be the B point, Piff. That's very big.
Gone.
That's huge if you're the side of Myst.
B point gone, so influential on an attack round on LSCLO, and now Kex is trying to line up for another one. A point left on the cards. 1 minute, 10 seconds left for Myst to work with, and they are already on trying to lock this one in. The respawn could just be their playground. We'll see. As for the fam, they eventually do get back in. They get the defense. And well, I mean, this is where Myst, right? You got to work as a team. You got to rally up together, push through the middle of the map. Maybe that's exactly what you need to do. Nonetheless, I look at Myst and I look at Kex already on the point, waiting for some of that team help, some of that team support as Llama tries to push things out as well. But Kaylin towards the backside, causing some trouble for Myst. This is where you might start to crumble on this push. Myst right now, you just need to stay up, and well, that task can definitely be a hard one when ForTheFam consistently finds ways to get up in your face, get up in your spawn, and find the kills that they need to.
I mean, yeah, the kill's starting to dwindle, or excuse me, the live's starting to dwindle. The kill's going the way of ForTheFam. You have 7 lives left if you're the side of Myst. Nice gunfight win out of Strezzy, but like I said, the power position of top tower is so influential. Pinstripes in the feed. Kaylin, nice shots onto Strezzy. And a little team nade there, but he does find Llama on the point. 3 lives left for the side of Myst. This is looking like a round 1 victory for the fam, but I feel like if you're Myst, you did your job. You got 3 ticks, but you didn't quite get that A point, the easier point. Nice shots out of Kex. He's fine too. Last guy up is going to be Stunna. I mean, you have your work cut up for you, my brother. Stunna, he's sitting at 3 and 7. Slow start to this game mode. Trying to stay alive. He's just getting shot from every single direction. Trying to stay alive. They're going to hunt him down, and this round should be over. It looks like it will be. 1 second left. That should be it. ForTheFam go up 1-0.
You know, it's interesting. Usually when you get that B side, I see a lot of teams, they do get A afterwards. But ForTheFam, they really put things on lock. They got that defense up over towards that A side, and they made sure that Myst was not going to be able to touch it enough to get any ticks going. And that is definitely going to be influential here as we move into the next round. Obviously, ForTheFam on the attack now, trying to do exactly what Myst did. Myst did plus more for the round 5 implications. We'll see how that plan goes exactly as Myst now trying to have a solid defense, but for the fam, most importantly, a solid offense. Llama, though, going to make sure to shut that down with a couple initial ones as Kex stacks another one on top. As for the fam, this is where you already start to struggle as you try to make the O over towards this B site.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the map pressure that Myst has. They have them pretty much trapped behind this grandma building. Llama just trying to get in the face as he does fall, but nonetheless, for the fam, get out of the trap for the time being. Sana is still putting pressure on that nasty head glitch. I mean, you have to take him off that if you want to have a single chance of getting this A site. Meso spots one towards the top. Can he find him up here? He's slow peeking. AG finds him. Be curious to see if Meso decides to go towards this B site and maybe get some ticks here, because let's be honest here, the A site isn't going too well for the side of For the Fam, Epiphany.
I can't say it's going too well either. I completely concur with that statement. And well, here we go. Nothing so far as the time is looking to dwindle away now for the side of For the Fam as Kex locking down the shots over towards topside AC, trying to prevent anybody from making any step on forward. And well, now it's time to clean out the pests that might remain on the site. Slaypex, no gunfight wins for you there. But hey, maybe in the nick of time For the Fam, they get on. They get the time moving. Myst, what is the retake plan? How are you going to do it? Topside maybe is the way. As Strezzy shots down into one. Maybe the second one as well. There it is. More blue floods through the kill feed. And For the Fam, you have been shut out from the site. No ticks for you. Myst with the 3-tick advantage.
That's huge to get a defensive win and not allow a single tick. Sana, like we saw on a 5 streak, can he get those streaks? Those would be so influential on a map like this to get those players off the points, or even create an opening for your team to get an offensive win. But nonetheless, Myst going back on offense where they got 5 ticks. I'll be curious to see if they can get an offensive win here. But let's stay on board with Stunna here. See if you can get these streaks, Epiphany.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get those streaks indeed. 8-7 right now. It's been a decent game for him so far. Kex as well, 12-7, almost a 2.0 KD, and well, new clean slate timer to work with. For the fam right now, it's all about figuring out how to get a solid defense in and then try to rally it back on your next offense. But, I mean, nonetheless, already things not looking good. Myst, it's 3 men up on the site right now. First tick locked in. AG, though, cutting them down. Are you going to look in the right corner? Yes, you are, but you're not going to win the gunfight. And Myst, that is one way to get taken off the site early on, but nonetheless, you still maintain your presence. You still get back on over. And now again, you're already getting those ticks locked in, and For the Fam are starting to struggle already.
Yeah, starting to struggle. Kex sitting at 15-8, having a good game for himself. But, I mean, if your team missed, I think you got to go to a certain site here. You have a minute to work with. You're you're even in lives now. Llama just trying to find anything he can towards the A site, able to find one. What else can he find? He's waiting for his teammates. He gets taken down by AG, but the trades are there. Pinstripes in the kill feed. This should be the A site for the side of Myst. So you have around 2 minutes to capture this B site with an even live count. Nice shots from Kex. Kex, like I said, just double positive, having himself a great game. But square one for the side of Myst, you have to get out of the spawn trap. But I mean, you look at the 2 players towards the bottom of your screen, make that now 3 players towards the bottom of the screen. Going to be very influential, Epiphany.
Very, very influential, of course, is now B-site. It's what we've got our eyes rested on. Myst, they try to organize the attack. Mazo trying to shut them down from doing exactly that. Llama, good shots in towards the top side. Not quite good enough. And well, Kalen gonna win a big one. And now For the Fam, still good control over towards B. Myst just getting picked apart right now. They gotta find some team synergy. They gotta find a way to distill their strategy into one plan here and figure out how they want to take a crack at this one. Maybe that strategy is going to involve hitting through mid here. You got to take care of Mazo first. Step 1 done. Now Llama maybe can find a way through the backside.
Yeah, I mean, you got out of step 1. You got out of the spawn trap. Llama not quite ready for that gunfight. Slaypex able to find him. I feel like For the Fam have a general idea of where Team Myst are going to come from, because you have that guy saying, hey, I don't see anyone green, so you got to turn around, look your back. Looks like Slaypex may have spotted one. He's shots down, not good enough. Can he find the kill? Went the wrong way. Stunna able to find him. But look at number 8, Meso getting in a great position to find a kill. I mean, you've got to go. 30 seconds left, Piff.
Yeah, you got to go. This is where you really need to get some time going in your favor here if you're Myst. If you can lock down this attack round, it would be so big, but you're consistently not finding the way forward in AG. He's hit the pinch. He's got the kills. And, well, now coming in from the front side is going to have to be Myst. All four looking to take one last crack at this one. Kex finds his way on, and the rest of Myst are on their way. They're on the Envoy to figure their way forward, but ForTheFam right now, they're trying to figure out how to prevent this one. So far, they haven't found anything. It's a 4-stack. This could be an unbelievable last 8.8 second cap here. Wow. Stun of the shots are in. The kills are good. The hill is done. The round is over, and Myst, they win an attack. They right the wrongs of their first attack round, and they take B, and they take A this time around. And that is a solid round in the context of this entire control.
They're one round away from going up 2-1 in the series. I mean, I felt that round was looking so good for the fam. But I mean, they just crumbled. I mean, you get the entry kills, your subs get the entry kills, your ARs post up on the head glitches. And I gotta keep reiterating it. Kex just having a phenomenal game, 17 and 12, having a game like himself. Looks like he's just trying to hit a little jump here, but looks like ForTheFam is going to try to hit this A site head on. Kex spots one, nice shots, but no cigar. Nice shots, able to find it. That's 2 down now for the side of ForTheFam. Make that 3. Last guy up is going to be Kalen over towards the A side, the B side. Looks like they're going to shift their focus towards the B side. A minute to work with. I mean, but Myst, they're just reading this. I mean, I just feel like their teamwork is just so well. I mean, they're just getting pushed up to these cuts and getting the right kills at the right time. Kex just another freebie. Can he find the second? He's hunting for him. He wants it. He can hear him running around. He's able to find it. Kex going off right now on a 3 streak. Can he find the streaks? I mean, you've got to kill Kex. He looks the wrong way. It's so unfortunate. Mesa able to take him down. But I mean, Epiphany, I mean, look at the lives. 27-21 with 30 seconds to go.
No cigar, but Myst is smoking the ForTheFam pack right now as Mazo tries to find his way on over towards A, but no dice, no life. Myst taking him apart. And this is where 33 seconds left is where you gotta be worried if you're ForTheFam. You're definitely seeing that and you're saying, we got to go. We gotta find an answer. B site, maybe where you do that, you get 3 locked in, you get on. Now it's all about Myst taking you down. We'll see if this is going to be a successful one. 1 tick locked in. Myst is just trying to win things right here. A good push out coming through from Kalen, but is it enough? Is that going to be exactly what they needed? Not quite. It gets paused once more. Myst, they make their presence known. ForTheFam, they redirect over towards A, but it's only a matter of time before Myst knock on the front door once again to evict ForTheFam from the A point.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to go. You have 8 seconds to work with. You're going to be down 2-1. You have to go. Stunna looking over this B site. He gets a freebie. 2 seconds, some body shots, some extra love. And Team Myst is going to go up 2-1 in the series. Little bit of feistiness in the series. I wonder if they're playing for any side bets, but regardless, Team Myst going up 2-1. Piff, what really stood out to you during that map?
I'd say what really stood out to me during that map is just the consistency across the board of this Myst team. They really found a way mid-map to adjust, right their wrongs, find a way in order to get that scoreline back up in their favor when it comes to that B and A site capture for an attack round. And, well, from there, it is really hard for the fam to meet that kind of strength. And so you go up 2-1, now putting yourself on the brink here. One more hard point. You should be good to go. Respawn looking good for Myst. I think that is the name of the game. That is the story here. But look at that next map. We're going to go for a bit of a swim. It's Hydro.
I mean, hey, we don't see this map that often. I mean, people think it's pretty trash, but I don't mind this map, honestly. Like, I feel like as an AR, it's very easy to get going and have yourself a good game. And saying that, I mean, like I said at the start of the series, both ARs for either squad gonna have to take over if they want to have a chance of winning this map. I mean, hey, Team Myst looking very good. Can ForTheFam almost do the impossible and win a respawn against Team Myst?
See if they can do it. I think we're going to be very curious to see if this one's going to be a successful one. I think, in general, the respawn for Team Myst has just been so... We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to set up the lobby. We're going to get everything situated. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
He's gonna pick up one.
We'll see. But if you're Savage, because of that, you get pushed out. You sacrifice that ace side.
Blacksmith Kex proving why he is the one with a triple kill.
Alrighty, everybody, and welcome back to the Amateur World League. It is time to kick off our next map in the series. ForTheFam versus Myst, battling it out now on Zarqwa Hydroelectric. And well, Myst up 2-1 here, looking to be the respawn kings, trying to close out the series. What's the through line here, Salty?
I hope you have your swim trunks on because the water routes are going to be very influential on this map. But here we go. Map number 4. Can Team Myst close it out in a 3-1 fashion, or will ForTheFam take a respawn off of Myst, who have looked phenomenal in the respawns? But on to our featured player here, Kex, with the sub in hand. I'm going to be interested to see where he goes off the rip. It looks like he's going to go straight into the water. Nope, he is not. He's going to play top mid with an AR, but looks like they're going to headbutt the hill as well. Piff, like I said, hope you have your swim trunks on.
Gotta have the swim trunks on. Gotta go Michael Phelps style as AG is able to kick things off with the first one here. Myst as well, racking up the numbers on the first hill. Again, as I say that, ForTheFam swinging the pendulum once again, breaking on in. Currently favorable spawns are going on over towards the side of ForTheFam. So far, Myst right now, the main task is you want to break this one open. You want to get those spawns for new, and then you can just get that P2's time to soak right up in your favor.
I feel like ForTheFam did a very good job of flipping those spawns. I mean, you saw AG hit a route and kill Kex towards that mid area and flip the spawns for his team. Now, if you're Myst, you got to fly out and kill AG, which they do in succession. Make that 2 down in the feed now for ForTheFam, but the lead and the rotations go to the side of ForTheFam. Llama able to find 2. Shout out his name, 2X, but nonetheless, ForTheFam will have the spawns for new, and it will have the new hill with about a 20-second lead. I mean, Piff, this is going to be a tough break with all the AR angles and the subs, but and Meso, I mean, he's flying through mid. He wants the straight piece, able to find one. What else can he find? He's able to find the second. No, he does not find the second. Slapex able to find a TP stoat, saves the time, but Team Myst, they get blessed with the spawn in the back, but Slapex, he's going to read it. Strezzy able to find 2, make that 3 down on the feed. Slapex, last one alive. He can't find it. Llama 2X with a nade, and Epiphany, you got to start worrying about this P3 hill.
P3 hill ready to pop, ready to go, and we'll see if Myst is going to try and find some kind of answer back here. So far, it has been a lackluster start to their hydro search, or excuse me, hard point. And at this point, I think that Kex right now is just not picking it up as quickly. Maybe it just is going to take a little bit time. 2 and 4 right now. Maybe just a little bit of time to get things going, to get the ball rolling. But right now on the hill ForTheFam, 65-15, good scoreline for them as 50 seconds remaining on the hill. Lots of time to garner as Myst. They do not have those back spawns either, and that is not an easy way to go down. Mazo, they're able to find 2, and now it's going to be Myst. Still trying to find some kind of entry onto the hill. This has been an absolute script flip from that first hard point. ForTheFam now dominating over Myst, as maybe you can get the remaining 25 here. It would be a big 25 for sure, but now look at the spawns already coming in for ForTheFam for 4 new.
Yeah, I feel like they're just doing a great job at like influentiating these spawns, because I mean, having the spawns is a big plus on a map like Hydro. But Kalen towards the P1 does get cut down by Kex. Kex just trying to play slow towards his P2. It looks like his teammates are going to hit with him. Maybe a 3 push. Number 1 does spawn out. Kalen spawns out. Does he call it to his teammates? Yo, they're hitting the back. Do they read it? Looks like number 4 is going to pick it up. Slapex. He's going to be huge right here. Can he find 1? See Slapex shots down. Not good enough, but 2 down on the feed. Can he find the second? Slapex, he needs to stay alive back here. He has his help from Mazo. Make that 3 down in the feed, but they get the close spawn. Slapex just trying to stay up. He does get taken down. Mazo on a 5 streak. Can he get these streaks? He gets taken down. Unfortunate for Mazo, but again, Piff, I just want to reiterate it. The lead just keeps on growing, but Myst getting some hill time.
So far, so good. Right now, hill time going in the favor of Myst. Definitely what you want to see if you're a Myst player or fan here, and well, it's going to be all about that rotation, of course. Try to string it again together towards another hill. That's exactly what you want to try to do. And well, so far, I think that ForTheFam right now, this is maybe where you start to just rally it back very quickly. You do have that kind of setup going over towards this next hill. And this is where you could really start to get some of that time, get that margin extended. But Myst, they do find their way in. They are into the hill once again. They have the generator point, and now ForTheFam going to have to break from that backside. There's number 3, Mazo, trying to push through towards water. But so far, Kex has been doing a good job of watching that as well. Myst as well, just holding the angles right now, winning the gunfights, and making sure that ForTheFam, they have no mode of entry, no way of finding their way in as Mazo continues to fry towards the front side. But is it going to be enough? Not quite. Myst still a solid hill right now as more blue floods the kill feed. ForTheFam going to have to take another crack at it, take another stab at it, but Strezzy, he's able to take him down no matter how many touch that hill.
I mean, I feel like I've seen a blue kill feed for the last minute and a half, but nonetheless, ForTheFam trying to hit through for these P2 spawns. They do have P1 control, but let's see how Team Myst decides to do this. They're slaying pretty much even on both sides. You have one player on each team going off. Mazo going to be very influential. Kex towards the middle of the map. What can he find? He's able to find 1 onto the hill. Can he find Mazo? Mazo just doing a great job of playing his life. He has his support from his teammates. Kex doing an incredible job of staying up to make that 3 down on the feed. I mean, I just feel like the teamwork for Myst is just so good right now in the respawns. And you can slowly start to see the game's turning on his head. I mean, the score was, what, 70-15? It is now 121-104 in favor of Myst. Piff, I mean, what's really going right for the side of Myst right now?
Myst right now doing everything that they need to get the rotations in. They're starting to win those gunfights. Kex now 13-10, Strezzy 16-12. This is what I'm talking about with these guys, is they do such a good job of turning up once they work as a team. They get those rotations. The individual starts to flourish and shine. And well, right now you can see exactly that. Llama, another approach on forward, another big kill forward. 3 more blue in the kill feed. Rotation locked in for Myst. The spawns consistently in their favor for these rotations, and Strezzy now is trying to fry towards the top side. As ForTheFam, they're going to have to break from the front side. This is not an easy situation to get out of, and well, Mazo's doing everything that he can to move things on forward. Kalen, the exact same thing. Maybe you get something here. Maybe you get the momentum that you need. The contest comes through, but again, Myst consistently back spawn, big kills on the hill, and Kalen, doesn't matter how much you overwatch, and doesn't matter even how much these 25 seconds go in favor of ForTheFam, because Myst, they're going to do everything they can to get a rotation.
I mean, what a prospect for ForTheFam. I mean, they're just holding this from the front side. Nice wall bangs out of Slapex. What else can he find here? Just trying to stay up with the support of his teammates. The P3 spawns in the rotation are going to go the way of ForTheFam, but I'm curious of how long they're going to hold it. I mean, you can see the route starting to be hit by Strezzy and company. Strezzy going to be a very important part. It looks like he's going to go all the way around. You have a setup if you're for the fam. If you get one hold, if you get a great hold here, you take the lead. You put yourself in a great spot to win the game. But Strezzy trying to be the catalyst to the break. He gets taken down, read like a book, if you will. AG is trying to hold it back, but can he read the spawn? It looks like he won't, but one player sneaks through, but I believe he did spawn him. AG, I mean, he's sound hearing these players right now. AG looks like he spotted him. He does take him down after what felt like I was watching Cops for a second with that chase down. But nonetheless, the time just keeps going towards ForTheFam. Let's see how Team Myst decides to break it from the back. Looks like they have a pinch set up. 2 down in the feed now for the fam. Last guy going to be here is going to be Mezo. What can he find here? Can he get them? I mean, there's 15 seconds left. This would be a big 15 seconds to even get them back in the game. Nice shots onto Kex. And they do have the rotation too towards that P4 side. They have the middle of the map locked down, Piff. I mean, this is just a phenomenal bounce back, honestly, from ForTheFam, shutting down the run that Myst had.
Yeah, ForTheFam, a good bounce back indeed. We'll see what Myst does to try to bounce back on their own from said bounce back. But hey, Stunna, maybe you're the one to do it. Good shots in towards mid, not going to result in the kill, but nonetheless, ForTheFam, good time for ForTheFam. As Myst right now, it's all about figuring out how to break from the front side now, as this is just kind of a difficult scenario to be in. You're wading through the water if you're Stunna. See if you can get something through the backside. That's going to be a big kill coming through. Good help, good clearing, clear out the pests from the hill, and you can find your way in. But oh no, that's a big one from AG, but still the answer back for Myst. The time going in their favor. It's a close scoreline, 186 to 186. Myst lead change, and now it's going to be all about that rotation. All about figuring out how you want to lock this one in, as both teams neck and neck right now, Salty.
Yeah, neck and neck. This game feels like it's going to go down to the wire like a 250 to 240. I mean, I just feel like every rotation has gone towards ForTheFam. I don't think Myst have rotated once, but regardless, they're still in the lead. I mean, that just shows how good that their slaying power is in their teamwork. But looks like they're going to try to isolate the guy in the back. Slaypex needs to stay alive. Even if he finds one, that'll be huge. Slaypex towards the back. Can he find one? He turns and burns. Able to find him, but Llama 2X in the back. He gets the spawns for his team. This is going to be a big pinch now for the side of Myst. I mean, this is going to go down the wire. Mezo able to find 2. Can he find the 3rd? He has to reload his gun. Looks like he's going to get taken down by a nade. Myst till the pace down. I mean, this is just chaos, Piff.
Absolute chaos right now in the hill. Myst, they have the time. 22 seconds left to go. And ForTheFam is trying to break from the back. They do have the spawns. This is where you can maybe get something going if you're ForTheFam, but it's going to be about the rotation soon. Llama, a stellar kill. It's going to be all about that rotation now. Who's there? Who's ready to go? It's probably going to be Kex, but you don't want to speak too soon. Stunna, though, looking to be on the overwatch. ForTheFam now trying to find their way through. Stunna trying to be the cutoff, as now initially the hill going in favor of ForTheFam, but Myst, you still have that scoreline lead. You can try to get back into this one, as right now this is all about holding. This is all about breaking for both of these teams.
This is good time if you're side of ForTheFam. I mean, you're holding this from the front, which is not easy to do, but Stunna finds one. He can't find the second. Slaypex with a nice 2 of his own. He does get taken down by Llama 2X, but if you're the side of ForTheFam, you have to flip these spawns. You cannot win here. Neither can Myst. So you have to hit through. AG able to find one. Nice kill onto Kex. Able to find a second. AG just having a great game. Excuse me, he's not having a great game. 15 and 25, excuse me. But nonetheless, tie game now, Piff. We're going to a P2 for the game.
P2 for the game here in Myst. Well, they've got the spawns, they've got the setup, they have everything on lock. ForTheFam, they couldn't win it on old, but can they do it on new? Can Myst do the exact same? You just need 25 solid seconds. ForTheFam, they're in. They're moving forward. Kalen able to find a big one, but are you going to get traded out? Yes, you are. Myst continuously, the time ticking ever more in their direction. ForTheFam, they are nowhere to be seen on the hill until just about now. AG taken down, loses a pivotal gunfight, and Myst 5 seconds away. Mazo taken down from the backside. ForTheFam, they get the spawns though. This could come down to the wire. All it takes is 4 seconds. Myst, can you get the break? Kalen, you gotta take him down. There's the big kills. Myst, they find it. Kex, you're in. You're here. The time is in your favor, and Myst, they hold on. They take the game away, and they take the series as well.
What a map. I mean, I feel like I just had years taken off my life by that. I mean, what was that? Did he 50? Anyway, but I mean, Strezzy, he not a great game, but I mean, three-piece to win his team the game, essentially. I mean, I thought for a second there that ForTheFam was going to hold it from the front of the hill. I mean, I can't.
I thought they might have gotten that there. They got the spawns, bro. Like, that is where things get really difficult because these teams, they want those spawns. They want those big rotations. And Myst, they had it. But in the end, that's one of those examples there where ForTheFam, they show that that can all be changed, that you can flip the script like that in the matter of seconds.
Anyway, but I mean,
again, they fumble the bag on the spawn flip, and they're not able to stay up there because it was only 4 seconds that Myst needed. And
you just need 25 solid seconds for the fam. They're in. They're moving. You just need 25 solid seconds for the fam.
I mean, what a game. But I mean, I just want to highlight ForTheFam. I mean, they had what felt like every rotation. I mean, they just couldn't find the kills. I mean, the Myst teamwork was phenomenal with that map. I mean, I don't think if you're a worse team than they are. I mean, they have the individual talent to do anything they want on the map. But if you do not have that talent, I feel like that map goes so much different. I feel like we're looking at a map 5, but nonetheless a nice. I mean, the Respawn Kings get it done. Team Myst on the board, sitting at 1 and 2.
1 and 2, great respawn coming from those guys. We're going to go to an intermission. I believe we'll have a player interview coming up, so we're just going to go to an intermission, and we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Oh my.
solid seconds for the fam. They're in. Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look at those final moments here. An unbelievable finish to our game. Myst, they have the spawns here. They have the rotation, Salty. But what does ForTheFam do?
I mean, Strezzy just goes big. He's able to find two, and he just stays alive, waits for his team to come help him. I mean, I don't think they win that game without Strezzy. What a three-piece out of him. He allows his teammates, gives his teammates time to get there, and then the teamwork, like I said, from Team Myst, just phenomenal throughout the series.
I mean, I thought it was over. You see Kex go in, and then ForTheFam, they can't get anywhere. The coverage is too good for Myst, even on the front side, and somehow those spawns flip, and that is just a perfect example of how Myst, they know how to execute perfectly. And Kex, that guy on your screen, is the one who did it right there to close out the series. And we've got him in our interview booth right now. Kex, how you feeling after that win? You're able to get the first one on the board as a team.
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I feel like we could have played a lot better. That was like probably our second or third time playing that map as a team. We I don't know. Just the game's been like super inconsistent for me lately. Not really an excuse, but I feel like we could have played it a lot better than we really played it. I feel very happy though. Getting Team Myst the first win so far.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you guys did a great job for sure, getting that first win here in the AWL. And well, another follow-up question I want to ask is, you know, I never got the chance to interview you after the Indiana LAN, but I was casting over you, and I noticed how you guys did such a great job in that one. How has that boosted your confidence going into these matches?
I mean, it definitely helped a little bit. It's like we were just still transitioning from playing on LAN to online, so it's like it's kind of a bigger difference. A lot of people wouldn't realize, but no, it definitely helped us a lot in that series because our teamwork and our chem was still there and whatnot.
Salty, what do you got?
I mean, you fried. I mean, how it just looks so easy. You're just so smooth with how you play. I mean, how are you feeling going into Major 1 with this squad?
I feel pretty confident with this squad. I think we can come back and win a lot more series and play a lot better as a team now that we can actually play something together besides just a 2-day LAN.
Yeah, I mean, you played phenomenal. I mean, good stuff. Piff, anything else you want to add?
Just any shout-outs you want to give, any players, staff, whatever it might be?
I mean, shout out the whole AWL production, shout out my whole team, like, shout out Team Myst. I mean, it's really how I'm here right now.
Well, I appreciate it, Kex. And another congrats on the win, of course. Great job today, and I'm curious to see how you guys do leading up to the major here. But folks, that's it. It's a big win coming through for Team Myst for the fam. They're looking good in Search and Destroy, but I get a little bit wary when I think about them in Respawn. But Team Myst as well, looking good in Respawn, Salty, right because of that, and they've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely so. Looking forward to Team Myst. They're going to be a for sure dark horse in Major number 1. That's, I mean, hopefully they start in winners because starting in losers, it's a Shark Tank waiting to happen. But I mean, good stuff out of them today, winning the 3 respawns. Need a little work on Search and Destroy, but other than that, the teamwork was phenomenal, like I said. But again, looking forward to Major 1.
Forward to Major 1, folks. That's going to be it from Salty and I today. I want to thank you all for joining us. It has truly, truly been awesome. Salty, first time on the AWL cast. How you feeling after it? Not too bad?
Not too bad, but, you know, could use a little work, but hey. I'm a little sick right now, too, so, I mean, gotta give him some
that
credit.
sick game. Yeah, give him some cred. Say W Salty in the chat if you think he did a good job for his first AWL cast. But anyways, schedule Sunday. Let's take a gander at it. Vision Battalion, they're going to be battling it out at 9 Eastern Time. And then after that, it is going to be Validity versus Dynamics at 10:30 Eastern Time. So be sure not to miss those ones coming up this Sunday as we approach our conclusion of the Major 1 qualifiers, and we get ever so close to Major 1 itself. It's going to be a good one. Again, that is going to be it. Salty and I, and the rest of production. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. We will see you guys on Sunday. Have a good one. Foot race is on. Towards kitchen we go as Katani here snaking like Cell.
Absolutely dominate Battalion, as not only are they above in points, but the KD ratio.
Element, they have come to play in the grand finals because Nolaflight, you are already cut off by Mirage. You have one more shot at this hill, but you are cut down by Teskey. Look at the snipes out of Prop. He's not just Mirage with the sniper. Maybe we'll get something nice. There it is. Able to clip one. It's going to be 3 in the kill feed there, but there's Mirage. seconds for the fam. They're in. They're moving forward. Kalen able to find a big one, but are you going to get traded out? Yes, you are. Myst continuously, the time ticking ever more in their direction. For the fam, they are nowhere to be seen on the hill until just about now. AG taken down, loses a pivotal gunfight, and Myst 5 seconds away. Mazo taken down from the backside. For the fam, they get the spawns though. This could come down to the wire. All it takes is 4 seconds. Myst, can you get the break? Kalen, you gotta take him down. There's the big kills. Myst, they find it. Kex, you're in. You're here. The time is in your favor, and Myst, they hold on. They take the game away, and they take the series as well.